put this out there. I am also from the LPL, and I'm a very big believer. If you're able to control the game from the early game and just choke out your opponent afterwards, you are able to just win the game. And I think Rogue has a style like that with their strong laners. I think it's incredibly close between these two teams, and a lot of it is going to come down to the drafting as well. But I'm predicting a 3-2
tweets
for Rogue.
Discord.
Another 5-game series and
Jo,
a win for
Shawks da,
Rogue.
som er den
Wonderful.
siste.
Treat.
Ikke Discord.
Every time I've been on the Analyst Desk, it's been 5 games, so I'm gonna break that curse and say that Mad Lions win 3-1 today.
Won this time. Discord votes are also in. Their prediction is 3-1 for Rogue. Incredible between these two teams in terms of what is at stake here. The Kings match, the best teams so far in the playoffs, who are fighting at the end for a great seed at Worlds and a spot in the LEC final. Rogue and Mad Lions face off in a much anticipated rematch.
Her kan en ærlig talt gå begge veier.
Men forhåpentligvis blir ikke stomp. Det blir ikke helt så veldig en TV.
Nei.
Skal ikke være. Hvis at Rogue draft rundt teamfighting, eller i hvert fall ikke blir teamfighter på ordentlig, så
And welcome to the caster desk. I'm Medic. That's Cadril. That's Vedi over there. So far away from me.
Hei.
I'm in a Medi-Vedi sandwich. I'm in a Medi-Vedi sandwich. You are a Medi-Vedi Katie sandwich.
The delicious part in the middle.
The ham in the middle of our
jeg tror alle lenene som bilen
start the day and to
begge
end
sider.
the day. Perhaps we'll see 5 games as predicted on the analyst desk, or perhaps Treats will come true and we'll see Mad Lions taking it to an early victory. Of course, both these teams storied in playoffs, having played twice in spring.
They certainly have, and last split, it was Mad that consistently got the
Ja,
better
du
of
mener.
Rogue. We'll see if things have shifted, because Rogue, we know how motivated they are to turn the tables. We know that they want their revenge. They often comment about how they felt that the finals were stolen away from them. Well, this is their opportunity to prove that they deserve to be in the finals and they can claim the trophy for themselves.
And they were dominating the majority of the games in the finals specifically, so we'll have to see if they can fix it, because Rogue time's always been a discussion, but it's something that's almost like a meme at that point. But it's so consistent that everyone, you know, it's kind of standing out a bit too much, and it's something they need to fix, because I feel like they draft early game. Freddy wants to draft prior lane.
Det er ganske deilig å vinne her og nå, for at en ting er det at du kommer til finalen, men du garanterer spot i Worlds.
So we'll see if they've been able to rectify
Begge
some of the
løst.
difficulties that they face against Misfits.
De har jeg?
Ja, de er på skjermen.
We're going to be jumping
Og det er
into
tomt. Og de har alle
first
sopp
game of this best of
Ja,
five.
ok.
Nå så ble de
We've been
tredjeplass.
talking about it a lot this week, but we have to imagine that
Jo, sant det, de blir tre... Ja. Sant det.
Viego have to be somewhere on the
Glem
pick-up
det.
ban list. The Xinjiao has to be somewhere on the pick-up ban list. Varus has to be up there as well.
Especially with Rogue, Kalista comes to mind too, as you're already banned away from Rogue.
Jeg skulle bare teste knowledgen din.
Very safe champion, but also Kalista does well into Ezreal and
Ja, for jeg
maybe
tenkte
they
at
start
de
taking away
kunne
that safety from Karzi because they want to draft some kind of dive. With the Ziggs getting taken away from Hansama as well, some of that long-range farming, that pressure that you can get in the bottom lane has been muted a little bit. There is the LeBlanc ban that has really risen into priority throughout the course of playoffs. We've seen him in basically every game. Yeah, we'll see TF banned away as well. I think both these mid laners
LeBlanc
definitely have counters to it. Humanoid more control mage-esque. I would say similar. Humanoid has decided of course as well, so I have to see how that pans out. Kennen taken away. Now Kennen, first rotation ban, screams to me that Mad Lions want a first rotation Anar.
Yep, I was thinking the same thing. But what interesting bans, very different, because Varus, Xin, Viego, TF,
Kalista Thresh,
they're all up, all of them.
And we know Mad Lions will pick Ashe into Kalista most likely.
Det
so they're probably not afraid of a Kalista first pick, but I think Thresh first pick is a bit risky. I think it's a free ban in a sense, because otherwise you're just going to engage support. If you were to ban Viego, Lee Sin will still be up, so it only really makes sense to ban a support here. But TF LeBlanc makes sense. Kennen screams to me that we're going to see a Gnar and a Syndra ban.
So all of the primary mids are gone. TF, LeBlanc, Syndra, Ryze is the one that immediately raises in priority with an Orianna as a common answer to it. We'll see what the direction is, but we know that that Thresh lock-in is immediately going to come through for Rogue.
Vet du har noen gode middelevere når blir target-bandet.
The thing is, you don't really have to pick it now if you don't want to. You could go for something else. They could go for the Gnar blind pick, but then Oruamne might go Jace, so that's kind of risky. I think the Kennen ban just makes sense because Rogue are blue side, and Oruamne's probably favorite blind pick carry top is Kennen, especially if you're playing an AD jungler, which is open, and you're playing an AP mid, but Ryze
We said it with Singular LeBlanc TF down, Rise is so high prio. Maybe Larsen will go for something like a Lucian here with an AP jungler, or just go for a control mage like Orianna to outrange him. And now it's in Rogue's hands whether or not they want to take the Viego or the Xin in this matchup. Of course, Inspired, famous for his Viego pentakill against Misfits only last week. We'll see here instead, though, he decides that Xin is the priority.
Well, Rogue now have to make a choice. Do they lock in their bot lane, or do they get a good answer into the Rise? And it looks like that they're going to go for the Aphelios. So right now, you have the fairly short range Aphelios playing into the long range poke that Varus has. Mad Lions could just get themselves the Jace here if they wanted to, because a lot of junglers are still up and available, but they're going to forego the Viego, and they're in fact going to prioritize the Lee Sin.
Yeah, Lee Sin makes a lot of sense. I think that if you don't pick jungle now, Lee Sin, Viego taken away, then Eloya will have to go for something like Trundle on 4 with Rise. I think some kind of setup aggressive jungler with Rise makes sense because of the EW combo. And Inspired, maybe learning from the last series they had played, you know, Xin Zhao maybe is the highest priority jungler. He was first rotated, everything's up. And there's the bans coming in from Mad Lions. Orianna expected. I don't expect a Lucian ban with Xin Zhao. Perhaps things like a Victor or an Azir could be taken away as well.
Yeah, trying to pinch Larsen's pool a little bit in the mid lane. Of course, Larsen has very often gone towards the Lucian as his most played in.
Har Larsen stort pool?
It's not the best combination.
Yeah, and I'm thinking what Mad Lions will look for support here.
Det var ganske lett å banne han da.
I'm thinking Rakan could be a pick for Mad Lions. This champ has been banned out a lot, mainly because of the Zyra Rakan defensive tools, but the champion gives you so much free engage, and I think with Rise Lee Sin it would make sense, especially with Varus. You'll have a losing lane, but at least you can test the push. Level 6, you have a lot of kill pressure.
If you're just looking for the push, things like the Morgana are up there as well. We have seen Karma support in the past, although she has fallen off. If you're just looking to poke out in the lane. There's the Gangplank banned away by the Mad Lions. Of course, we still think that they are opting towards that Gnar. It's one of Armut's most played across the course of his career. And with the Cannon ban and the Gangplank ban, it is a safe blind top lane for
Gnar.
Yeah, I think that it comes back to what Kadra was saying earlier. The Cannon ban definitely suggests to me that it's less that they really, really want the Gnar. It's more that, hey, we're expecting Rogue to have to blind pick something. If they blind pick a cannon, we don't have a great answer into it. And when we look at what we normally see from Armut, that doesn't really surprise me. Now, with the Braum gone, that is leaning towards something like
Karsi har stubbles.
There is the Rakan. There's also the consideration of things like the
Han ser jo 14 ut.
of the pick in this situation, but of course,
Jeg trodde ikke han kunne få seg.
Yeah, I'm expecting last pick Gnar, or yeah, probably last pick Gnar.
Nå ser han jo ikke 14 ut lenger.
But the reason Leona is banned is because 11:15, I believe it was, Thresh got his E nerfed 1 second later. Thresh E is 13-second cooldown, Leona E is 12. So you actually have a window to already do the buffer time of about 1.5 seconds. Proc his aftershock, get flayed away, and then re-engage with your E. You can't get flayed. That's, I think, why Leona's being picked into Thresh more. Rakan pick makes a lot of sense. You can't really win lane anymore unless you go for Nautilus. And here comes Rogue.
Kan Varus picka.
What's the blind pick top for Odo? You could deny a Gnar here, or you could just take a weak side.
Ja, rivde det
something like a top bench to give you a little bit extra AP and weak side potential, so you can get this Aphelios Thresh to the late game. Cho'Gath does the job as well, but there's a lot of scaling on Rogue, which is surprising to me.
Has been traditionally what they have looked for, just scale up towards a late game and then have strong late game team fights. Larsen, of course, known for his Azir. There's Camille instead of Cho. We've seen a lot of Camille priority throughout
Kaiser har lyst til å spille Zona, han, ja.
With certain matchups being a little bit more tricky, I wonder if Odo Omne will have a good one here into Mad Lions.
Yeah, and Armut's only pick into it is Camille, and I think Rogue might know that. Now you have to play topside, and you have to get this Camille behind if you're Mad Lions. If you think of top laners in Europe, you know, Fiora, Pirates would pick it. I think other top laners like Wunder or Broken Blade, Cries would pick Jax into Camille. In this case, Armut is going to go for a Jace. I think top lane's really volatile, Betty.
It certainly can be. The good news for Mad Lions is they do have a pretty strong top side of the map. I think Rise can get that early prio into the Azir. When paired up with the Lee Sin, it's very easy for them to advance resources towards Armut, and this is typically how they like to play. With these prices, Kaiser already getting out of that lane, looking to set up roams early on into the game. We know that both supports like to try and impact the early to mid game by influencing mid lane and top lane specifically. So we'll see how much action there is towards top. We knew Mad Lions would like to play towards top. The question is,
Larsen som vanlig tørker seg på håndduken.
Yeah, Mad Lions 1-3-1 come, get the solo laners ahead, play for the 1-3-1 in mid game. Rogue, get the Camille even or ahead.
Han ble litt sånn gira når han fikk et sier.
Both side laners and then look for team fights. Azir, Aphelios, Thresh, lots of range. I think it's all on in the early stages though.
A rematch of Spring Finals and of the round 1 in that playoffs as well. Both of the last 2 times, Mad Lions have come out on top. Both of the last 2 times, Rogue have given up a lead in the final
Har
game.
de egne
5,000 gold
lekkevannflasker
first
også? Fy
time, 10,000 gold the
faen.
second. Can Rogue prove at the third time of asking that they are up to their Mad Lions challenge? And onto Summoner's Rift we go. So, let's talk a little bit about what you guys expect from these teams in the early game. You've already kind of laid down the law that top lane should be a focus for the Mad Lions.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're playing Jace, Ryze, Lee Sin. Ryze can get early push, as Vedia said in draft, and he can move top. Lee Sin can do 3 camps topside or path top, and then punish this Camille, who not only is playing fleet footwork, defensive door and shield build, but also has no flash, so very vulnerable if Humanoid can get a 3-stack wave up
Ingen
there.
flash på
and
Camille,
make sure
det
he's there
for
when the
burst,
crash happens,
liksom?
whether it's with a TP or just showing himself.
Trimby taking some damage here, but Hansoma's going
Mer-
to escort him to safety. Elyoya starting Q. I know that you're an avid Lee Sin player. I've been playing a decent amount in your guidance. He's going to need a pull here,
Yeah,
right?
gonna need a
Which means that does suggest that based on where Inspired starts, and right now it looks like he's starting towards the top side of the map, this will allow Hansama and Trimmy to get early control over the lane and put this bot lane at an early bit of an awkward situation at the level 1 2v2.
And that's to be expected when you're playing a Filial Stretch. But I think also another big thing is both buffs are watered. Blue buff's watered for Inspired, blue buff is watered for Elyoya, so everyone will know where everyone starts. Kaiser got the sweeper on the base there, but Inspired's pathing bot side. I wonder if he's got some kind of crazy pathing here where he might go blue, grump, red, and then back to top side and try to contest and defend Odoamne, because I think him getting dove on these 3 waves, you're either cross-mapping and diving bots yourself, or you're defending that play. We'll see what he opts into.
Lilja fra Raptor Camp til andre
Trimby had a huge advantage in the bottom lane. Here we see trading early. Ignite
Trimby,
going down to Trimby. Kaiser for the engage, but the Guardian will be enough to keep Trimby pretty healthy for now.
Very much what we expected. Both bot laners, we know they're aggressive. The last time that they met, Hansama and Trimby really did get the better of them in the 2 versus 2. And you can see that in the stats beneath at the bottom of your screen. 2v2 kills, 5 for Rogue's bot lane, 1 for the Mad Lions. And that was just in the final of last split.
Yeah, there was a lot through lane phase. I think that they were playing Senna Tam, just pushing them in non-stop. And we had Karzi on Euphoria, and he said, yeah,
var
we're
det sånn
trapped
early
in
game,
bot lane,
kjempe?
losing matchups, that's why we died a lot. As the hook goes
Tror
wide.
ikke han har
But now, again, I
advantagen?
think losing matchup, similar to the finals, but it's all about not dying, just making sure you go even.
Yeah, I think the important thing there is those were 2v2 kills. That wasn't jungle intervention, and we might see some jungle intervention as Elyoya walks over a ward towards the mid lane, but both these bot lanes are willing to fight. Kazi especially so, willing to go in at the drop of a hat a lot of the time.
He's on top lane though, Elyoya's there, he skipped his red. Inspired's full cleared down, and here's the wave stacking. Humanoid's moving up, and this is exactly what we were talking about. Dive's gonna come in, he's holding the wave to make sure it doesn't crash. I think Larson might have to TP if he wants to defend this.
Larson does have the TP. Odoamne underneath the tower. The cannon minion, his key target for the moment. There's the TP early on. Rogue will be able to walk away from this one. Lots of damage down onto Odoamne. He's dead. Elyoya safeguards out. Humanoid was tanking up tower. And Mad Lions with a clean dive.
Flawless dive from the Mad Lions. It was expected. We knew it was coming. Mad Lions had the push in mid. Elyoya skipped his topside camps and immediately passed towards the top lane. The stacking wave from Armut, everything came together, and with no flash from Odoamne, it was just very well done. First blood to Mad.
But I also have to question Rogue and be a bit of a devil's
swap
advocate here.
ban?
Isn't it obvious from draft that this is going to happen? Isn't it obvious when you see Lee Sin starting bot side that they're going to 3-4 wave stack top and dive? Their only response is a TP from Larson, but now Inspired's up towards the top side, but now you have this awkward lane situation where, yes, Inspired's ahead of Elyoya with tempo and he can push him out of his red buff, but Camille's mid lane, Azir's top lane, you've lost both your solo lane TPs, you've given the enemy team a first blood and double TP advantage.
It's a very good start for Mad Lions, as you say, though. Inspired able to sneak away this red buff. He's about 11 CS up over his opposing jungler. So now the question really becomes, how much can Mad use the advantage that they have in top and mid, and how much can they use these TPs? Because if having those TPs when Rogue don't have a teleport of their own doesn't come to anything, it's actually okay for Rogue that they played it this way.
Well, this is the trade-off that Rogue has effectively made. Notice what Inspired is doing with the information that he garnered. The fact that all of those topside camps were not cleared from Elyoya because he was only
Inspired
level 3.
the biggest brain,
you can see from the CS what he'd actually been clearing as well. Inspired has been able to leap significantly ahead in the 1v1 jungle matchup, and now Larson, he also hasn't lost a huge amount, and the fact that Odoamne has been able to catch mid-wave, in terms of the gold, it's only at 200 200 gold advantage for Mad Lions as the bot lane continues to find pressure. So this is something we often see from Rogue, though, where Inspired often gets many of the advantages, even if his laners are sometimes punished as a result.
Yeah, he's going to get a bot grab as well. Will he get level 5? No, it's probably really close to level 5 though, and Elyoya is going to clear a second respawn. You can see the gold's not that far ahead for Elyoya, but it's mainly XP that Inspired managed to take away himself and deny against the enemy. Bad trade from Mad Lions' bot lane here. Inspired instantly cancels his recall, might look for a dive, but again, double TP on the solo laners if they overextend this. Could be very dangerous.
Inspired waiting just around the corner, has started his recall, could join if he wanted to, but with the wave getting cleared out, Mad Lions will be safe underneath their own tower. One plate goes over to Rogue as they go back to base.
Look at Humanoid's item, Boots of Swiftness. He's going to be a speedy boy, so he's going to be really hard to gank, and Armwood crashed top wave because of all the swapping happening on where Odoamne had TP mid, so you can see him on the minimap now, running back to top lane, and he's able to save his TP. Humanoid the same, and now
Royce
having
bara
the TP advantage is one
delete
thing Medic
waves.
said, like, well, can they make a play with this TP advantage? It's also the opposite side where Rogue, can you make a play? Yeah. They have double the TP advantage, right? Rogue now has to be afraid for the next 4-5 minutes of the game to make that play, go for a dive bot, because they could get TP behind, or there could be a TP on the tower.
Now, we can see both supports roaming mid, very common level 4 play, but something that both supports also actively do to try and help get priority in the mid lane. Something that I like that we're seeing from Humanoid as well is that whenever he has the push, he moves into Fog of War. Notice he has dropped that control ward right next to where Inspired is in the enemy jungle right now, and this gives just a little bit of information that should actually spot Inspired out. So, and slash.
There's the ground, there's the hook, there's the flash away, you just can't escape this. Kazi on his lonesome, killed off by Hansama.
There it is, put it on the tally board. That's 6 2v2 kills over the last 2 best of 5s where Rogue and Mad Lions have faced up against each other. Really good execution, hence there's no counterplay there for Kazi unless you have Cleanse. In this case, he doesn't. Is it a 2v2 kill if Rakan wasn't there, Betty?
I think it still counts. Right? I think it still counts. That was just a really good utilization of the window. Trimby sort of pathed up towards mid to cover, but then immediately pathed bot. He got to bot lane before Kaiser could, and with the wave stacking like this, they saw an opportunity to punish Kazi and they get themselves a kill. Rogue now with a small gold lead.
It's actually a big difference you see between these supports as well. Kaiser doesn't spend that much time with his AD carry at all. Now, all supports are roaming more than they used to, but Trimby actually spent around 50% of the early game near Hansama in their first playoff series, where Kaiser was down at 34% of the early game. That's only about 4 of the first 15 minutes.
Wow. That is a very small amount of time, and you can see that with that advantage that they've gained in the 2v2, Inspired is continuing to pressure the enemy jungle.
Elyoya's on the way and he doesn't have Smite. Inspired does. They want to give this to Larson ideally. Hook hits the blue buff. Kaiser
jumping in, there's this Smite goes down, Inspired with the Crescent Guard. Kaiser's going to jump away, there's the heal. But here comes Humanoid and the TPs are coming in, and Mad Lions are looking for the play. Trimby on his lonesome, there's the Realm Warp. Both of them get through it. Elyoya and Humanoid looking for Larson. The Emperor's Divide will push Elyoya back, and he can't quite get the chase down. Inspired doesn't have a flash, is rooted up, trying to survive, but he just can't do it. 2 kills to Mad.
And there's the TP advantage coming in. We'll see what Odoamne can get on top side. He might be able to push in a wave and get himself, at best, a plate, but Mad Lions, it looked pretty rough at the start. Looks like he's got a freeze, so that'll be very useful later on. Looked pretty tough for Mad Lions. Kaiser looked like he was out of the fight already, but it was a numbers disadvantage from the start.
I felt like that, you mentioned it, they wanted to hand that blue buff over towards Larson, and I feel like that kind of made the whole play delayed from Rogue. They could have just taken blue and left, but the fact that they wanted to hand that blue buff over,
også en ting som veldig kult å se på Royce I left. For de gode spillere med Royce kult, ass.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight how well Humanoid plays this, because he ults onto Larson, he knows Larson has ult, so he just stays behind him. Make sure he can't get himself knocked back, so he stays on top of him to get maximum pressure, make sure he's in range of Inspired. Lands the E, lands the W, and then the skill shots can connect.
And a small thing, I think that both Humanoid and Elyoya pressed S when they were in the Rise ultimate.
They know the interaction!
I just thought that was funny. Now, they're making their way up towards topside wave stack.
Lol.
Odoamne all on his lonesome here. Armor's going to be able to get at least 1 plate before the fight really begins. Humanoid still holding on to that TP. Flash Room Prison going to get away for the moment. Knocks Elyoya back as well, but Humanoid is still on the chase. The spell Flux doing a lot of work. Elyoya
with the Humanoid som hoppa.
Yeah, Mad Lions win out on the bot fight where Rogue overextends, and they're still
winning
on
top side.
Humanoid just pushing in waves and roaming. The swiftness boots really helps out. Now Armwood is going to be so far ahead of this Camille. 2 plates already. Level up, has a kill. Although doesn't have TP to catch his wave either, so top lane slowly falling apart here.
It's crazy how we're seeing such a contrast in styles, where Mad is using their Prow, using their TPs to look for fights, look for skirmishes. They're falling a little bit in farm in certain places, but they're staying ahead in gold because they're finding these kills. Meanwhile, the bot lane is building huge advantages because they're getting plates themselves. Look, there's only 2 plates left in the bot lane because of the pressure that Hansama and Trimby have been putting on in this 2 versus 2, but this is looking like another fight around the Herald.
Odoamne has the Ignite, can join this fight. Elioya goes for the Herald first.
Sånn nå for tida, altså i playoffs og litt sånn, så ser jeg hva du snakket om tidligere med Mad. Men det gjorde jeg ikke i early split. Jeg husker du sa det jo selv, det her er ikke Mad som jeg vet av.
Very early timing there for Armut, but Rogue now have a way to break open the map a little bit more. They can just go towards the bot side of the map, they can drop the Herald, they can guarantee this tower for Hansama and Trimby, and then they can actually start moving them around. They can send Larson off to bot lane, they can have this mid, the AD carry mid lane, pushing those waves and having a little bit more control of the map.
Yeah, and I think that's really important because you need to get Odoamne out of this lane phase ASAP. He's going to crash this wave now, Hans is going to base, like you said, and they're going to go Herald this tower. How can they use and leverage this bot lane to their advantage? Well, what they need to do, I think, is match hit them into the Jace. I think having bot lane mid is going to be a bit dangerous, having Azir on a side lane. But if Azir can stay mid and bot lane can be top, that should solve it. Odoamne.
Rogue have TP here. Larson is working his way up through the river. Odoamne caught out. Mad Lions coming with the realm warp. A 2v1 turns into a 4v2 very quickly there. Mad Lions got another 2 on the board.
Well, Mad is just relentless with their aggression. Every time that realm warp is up, Humanoid is looking to Rogue. He doesn't care about the 1v1. Look at that, 2-0-4 for Humanoid, 2-0-4 for Elioya. This mid jungle has been the most proactive I think we've seen from this duo all split long.
Yeah, this is what the definition of playing through mid to a side lane is right here. You meet together in river and you collapse to plays. This one was more of just a 4-man play, Ryze ulting Kaiser in with him. And Odoamne getting a bit greedy, trying to crash that top wave. Old collapse inspired, maybe thinks only 1 member's coming. Then he sees 4 out of nowhere, and he doesn't want any of that.
Just some smoothly Sin mechanics there as well, using the Q to get onto the minion, to then safeguard onto Armut there to close the gap. Just great utilization of the mobility, great collapse from Mad Lions. They're starting to accelerate their goal lead to a point that Rogue may not be able to control them.
And it's where Humanoid has always shone as well.
Odoamne har vært I hver eneste lane nå.
Really accelerate his lane. As you can see here, Armut already completed his Eclipse. Elioya already completed the Gore Drinker. Humanoid's in a great spot as well because he has been picking up these kills and these assists through it, but we haven't seen the same from Larson. He's been in the mid lane, farming, shoving in the waves, and hasn't really been able to have the same impact because his TP is on a 6-minute cooldown and Realm Warp's on a 1-minute 20 cooldown.
Yeah, but I think the setup now for Rogue should help them out a little bit. We talked about it earlier, matching your bot lane top. Now the map's kind of flipped, where both top laners are in the bot lane.
Jeg skulle forresten nevne, du så vel sikkert du også, men det endte jo opp med at Visio, den ene fyren jeg hadde fra Misfits, fikk minst poeng av alle sammen. Til og med Wander fikk mer poeng.
Spied has spent so much time sitting top lane, and he's not actually going to get anything off the back of it. Just Mad Lions playing so defensively there. They did not leave their tower. Elioya was shadowing them, but at no point did any fight break out. Now the Drake is up. Elioya is still hovering around the top side of the map, and Kazi is hovering off in the river. They are pinging, and Armut's TP is coming soon. I wonder if Mad Lions is considering a potential top play onto the bot lane of Rogue.
Inspired's bot side.
Yeah, I don't think he's looking for anything up towards the top side anymore. That control ward staying up is big here for Rogue. There's only 1 ward sitting on Trimby's warding item, so he wouldn't have that much vision.
Yeah, I think Inspired's going to run bot now and place the Herald, try to get Odoamne first tower gold. That'll salvage the top lane matchup a little bit. I think accelerating bot was one play, but getting Camille back into the game is another. Elioya and Humanoid kept leaning top side to defend this play. Now they're realizing, hang on a second, they don't even top their bot side. Elioya's going to move down, Humanoid doesn't have TP. Odo will get in range of his first tower to help him out a little bit. But this early game from Rogue doesn't feel as fluid and poetic as it normally is. Larson.
Oh, that was a really nice dodge from Kaiser. Sidestep the Emperor's Divide, forces Larson to flash away. Kaiser using the quickness for the movement speed to start it off, and then was able to force Larson to burn that summoner.
Really good reaction time from Larson though. Dragon just spawned, And Rogue used all their tempo bot side. They used the Herald bot, they pushed out the wave. That means Mad Lions can walk in because they have the base. And now Odoamne does have that Sunder. Observers, if we could look at the gold, I'd love to see if that actually helped out a little bit. Well, no, he's still 1k down. Still a level down. Still going to be rough. And I think Armut might be able to pick up this bot tower as well as this Dragon. I think Rogue just going to have to cross map and take a top tower.
But you can see Hans Summer is where all the gold sits for Rogue. 5,600 gold, most in the game.
Oh my god, I hatar Filius.
That can really help Rogue through a very difficult middle portion
Bro,
of the game because every other
jävligt
lane is
mycket.
behind. And Azir scales well, Camille scales well, but you need to get them to those 2-3 items before they can really have an impact.
So, we're kind of transitioning now into the mid-game, and this is where we'll start to likely see more fights. Of course, both teams still trying to ramp up, secure those first major items, but at first, when you look at this comp from Rogue, it comes across as a traditional front-to-back because you have things like the Azir, you have a Aphelios. Typically, they would want to play around the front line, but then when you put a Camille in there, it's not your standard frontline play. What I think is really important about that we were talking about in draft is when you look at Mad's comp, it's like they want to use priority and sides to collapse first, get control around an objective, and then use their poke through the Varus and the Jace to then kind of chip away at their opposition and then potentially look for an engage with the champion like Kai'Sa. My question is, what do you think about the Camille in this position, Kadro? How do you think it fits and its role with Rogue's comp?
Well, I think what the Camille wants to do is be the one to push out the side to Jace and then move into the party. You have Azir, you have Xin Zhao, good follow-up, I think, with the range. Hang on a second, Kai'Sa might get caught here. Hook doesn't connect, but they're going to try and force him out. The Camille wants to be able to push outside. She's going to push out bot and then maybe TP top fight already kicking off.
Human has round warp, there's the quickness, and just
Oh
look
my
at the
god.
damage we have from the machine gun rise. Already Hans Summer is down, Mad Lions once again collapse in the top lane. Odoamne tries to join the fight, but the stopwatch from Kai'Sa is perfect. However, Odoamne still very healthy, still very much alive. Armut survives, Mad Lions getting everything in the top lane. Trimby chased down, Armut unstoppable, and Mad Lions 10-1 up.
4 members down. Rogue used every single summer almost in that entire fight and got nothing
Armut
out
points.
of it. Kai'Sa stopwatches the E. Armut lives through Odoamne's burst. They get 4 kills in a tower while this game's running away from Rogue.
Mad is absolutely slaughtering Rogue in game 1. Mad are delivering on the expectations put upon them, and Kai'Sa's awareness is just insane. He's been dodging skill shots left, right, and center, and then let's have a look at this engage. He knows he's going to get CC'd up initially, flashes into knockup to set up for Humanoid, 2 versus 3, and then the follow-up from Elyoya.
Yeah, flash Q lands, Jace QE lands. Now watch this stopwatch from Kai'Sa, just sees Odoamne on the corner of his eye, stops the E from hitting. And then he goes for Armut, tries to get the kill, and he has a shutdown, but doesn't get him either. Both Kai'Sa and Armut are out. Humanoid can live through the hook.
Nå skjønner jeg også hva du drev og snakket om at Kai'Sa er jævlig god. Ser det nå.
We talked about their top side. Kazi knows what his responsibility is in this team comp. He's an ult, he's a heal, and he's there to throw out his Q every now and then.
Null damage for Kai'Sa. Bra av the carry. Han var vel midlane.
And you can see that was essentially a 4v5 in Rogue's favor. The Mad Lions were still able to come out on top of course, Azir came in a little bit late, Odoamne came in a little bit late, but Mad Lions just in such a strong position, so decisive in their ability to make these picks, and a lot of it has been off the back of Kai'Sa's Rakan. His ability to engage with the quickness, his movement around the map has been sublime.
His ultimate is coming up. They may very well look for a play, but Jace isn't quite close enough. Dud has the TP, but it seems that Mad is saying, you know what, we can't afford this right now. We need to push out our side waves. They're being pushed in against us. Let's get a little bit of control over the map, and we'll concede the mid-tier 1.
Imagine your cars, you just write 80 diff in all chat right now.
Oh, sorry.
Just chilling under his tower all game, his team's just smurfing. Oh, you gotta love it. But yeah, Rogue, they had no TPs to commit, but they were grouped up 5-man. Humanoid was ready to respond, but he doesn't have any TP wards behind. You can see the bot side river littered with blue wards. Rogue managed to get a tier 1 and push them out. And for now, everyone's just going to go back to catching waves.
Yeah, for the moment, things are going to be in a little bit of a bounce house. We're going to go to
a vision
because we've still got a minute on the Cloud Drake, but there's a Drake apiece, so not really much else to fight for on the board. Mad Lions will want to start knocking over these towers, but you said it already, Betty and Kadro, they need the side lane pressure, they need the priority to then collapse.
Jeg skjønner meg ikke helt på vision-scoren, i hvert fall at ofte så er det jungler som har jævlig mye, men her er Kai'Sa som har pess mye i forhold til resten av gamet.
like the commitment to this Camille, getting her behind early is because there is the risk that she can outscale on the side. She can be that huge threat that becomes difficult to deal with. And if you just shut her down early, it's much harder for her to get to that point. And you can see now, Rogue, they're able to push out their sideways, but they can't match them. Mad get to decide what is happening on the map because of how well they played through the top side, and now they're snowballing off the back.
Yeah, it's just beautiful to watch. What Mad Lions will do is push both sides, move mid. What does Rogue have to do? Group mid, and try to stop the Siege and the Herald, or lose both side waves. So what you'll tend to see is Mad Lions will group up mid, while both Odoamne and Larson try to push out bottom top, which you just saw, and then in the end, you lose an objective. That's the power of a 1-3-1, and Mad Lions are ahead on both solo laners, and they can do it.
Now 20 minutes in, they have a 4,000 gold lead. Second Dragon of the game will be theirs as well. And across the board, they are sitting at 2 items on all of their carries. You can see Eclipse Manamune on Armor already stacking up. Everforce Seraphs on Humanoid. And that Manamune with a Serpent's Fang for Kazi. No Mythic on that Varus yet.
Look at how crazy this is. 100% kill participation for Humanoid. 100% kill participation for Elyoya. 90% kill participation for Armut. The only kill that Rogue have gotten was in a 2 versus 1 in bot lane from Hans Summer's flash. Right, like, Mad have just dominated from starts to finish. They had a clear goal in mind and they have executed it to perfection.
I think the clear thing from that, and the biggest point is, it was just a 2v1 kill. It was a 2v2 kill. No proactive other play from Rogue has actually worked, and Mad Lions have been there to respond, there to make the play first. And ever since this top dive, where they had these TP advantages and everything, just backfired for Rogue. The only thing they had was a winning bot from that 2v2 kill, but because of top losing the advantages, they managed to shut the play down.
And now Rogue is basically, like that solo queue game, you know you're behind and you're just typing to your team, we scale, just try not to die. That's the position that Rogue find themselves in because they can't just force a play. Both teleports are up and available for Mad. Those solo laners are terrifyingly powerful, and they just kind of have to keep control around the vision. You can even see pings on your minimap right now. Baron is a real threat. They can melt it down. We have to make sure that we have some control. We have to stall for as long as we can.
And the problem for Rogue in that situation is, if the shoe was on the other foot and Rogue were miles ahead, we're hitting that 20 to 25 minute mark where sometimes Rogue make mistakes, or sometimes they won't go for a proactive play and they'll just wait things out a little bit too long. Mad are not a team that will sit back and wait for things to happen. They are a team that always takes the front foot, that always makes the play. And you can see right now, they're the ones setting up around the Baron. And my expectation is Mad Lions will be looking to make a move soon.
Niski in PGL yesterday said that he thinks that Mad is the best mid-game team in the LEC. So let's see them put their mid-game skills to use. Right now, they have control over mid and they're forcing their way into Rogue's topside jungle. They're trying to gain some control around the Baron and maybe look for a pick.
Yeah, Rogue have no vision. They have that little plant there. I think Larson should hit it to give them some vision. Does, but they're just going to siege mid. Inspired gets ulted.
That's Crescent Guard out of Inspired as well. Kaiser jumping in, jumping back. Now, importantly for Rogue, they do have one ward right on the red buff of Mad Lions, so there is a flank possibility here for Odoamne as Mad walk towards the Baron.
Oh, they're going to force the play though!
Round warp coming in, there's the quickness as well. They've got the charm onto one, that's Trimby. Larson dodging out to the side, and Trimby's already down. Mad Lions still alive. Kaiser down to half HP, and Luria 2.
Yeah, Rogue, they've got bot push. Odoamne can push in bot and get this tier 2. Mad Lions have 2 options. 1, TP bot right now and defend this tier 2. 2, force the Baron. Trimby's dead. It's a 4v5. Odo could TP in. The TP ward's going to expire soon though. What do they have to work with?
That's the question. Rogue now stepping forward. That ward about to expire, but he has gone for the TP onto it. There's the route onto one, and already Inspired is down. Odo is behind them though and has a blast cone, although he's on a ward. Mad Lions on the Baron, 3,000 HP on it, no smite for them. I saw no smite for Rogue, a smite for Mad Lions as Elyoya will secure it. The Baron goes down. Flash forward from Kazi, Chains of Corruption lands, and they're looking for more. Odoamne dives in, sacrifices himself for his mid laner.
Jeg trodde ikke det var sånn man brukte varesult, ass. Flash forward, og så
What do we do with this Baron, guys? Do we finish it? No. I'm going to turn on to Inspired. Humanoid makes it happen. He dies, no smite.
Oh my god, statsene til Elyoya og Humanoid, det er nøyaktig det samme.
Beautiful play from the Mad Lions. Just unbelievable. When we look at this team, the amount of doubt that they've had over the year. Hang on.
Trimby flash play, flash away from Armor. There's the hook, but now the TPs are coming in. The Mad Lions look to collapse. Kaiser has a great flank here, has the quickness coming off of cooldown. Everforce a little bit wide. Trimby steps forward, trying to sacrifice himself for Hans Summer, but Mad Lions will not let Hans get away.
Fy faen, Armut får så mye kills. Jeg er veldig glad for at jeg valgte han. Jeg håper det her fortsetter for min del da.
try anything at this point because the game is so hard to play, the 1-3-1. And just look at the scoreline of Elyoya Humanoid. It's so beautiful to look at. There's a tear in my eye, Veddy.
That is a beautiful mid-jungle combo, and that is how you enable your top lane. And this is a style that Mad have perfected. And it's just, but it's more than that, right? It's just the way they played that mid-game was clean. It was so clean. The Baron setup, the vision control, the patience, and
Den eneste som ikke har dødd, hva faen?
Slippery
guys.
I'm the type of player that would have flashed. Hans Sama flashes, I kick Hans Sama away. He knows Hans Sama's going to flash. He then waits for it to happen, and then because he sees Trimby Wartop behind him and kicks him in, just really good awareness. Everyone on Mad Lions stepping up.
And then they just think about them. They think about what the play is next. Think about what's the next play. Well, support's dead, they can't get vision. So 4 of them are going to walk up on the FTP. Who do we need to kill to stop this play from happening to get this Baron? We have to kill Inspired. Instant turn, similar to the Baron against G2, where he's just flash stuns caps. Humanoid's decision-making on Baron is flawless.
Mad Lions' decision-making this entire game seems to be without flaw too. This is their 3rd dragon of the game. It will be a cloud for them, but really they're just taking as much away from Rogue as possible. A 7,000 gold lead, 25 minutes in. They are in such a commanding position. Rogue just seem helpless.
Det er jævlig hardt å være spesifikt den sin SAO når du har gått 0-4. Du early game, du shiner.
The realistic thing Rogue can do in this point of the game is just wait for a mistake. Wait for Mad Lions to overdive Nexus Towers. Wait for them to flash way too deep and try to kill your backline. Maybe there's a world where you can do it. But this game is just so clean for Mad Lions. There's really not much Rogue have done or can do now.
Now, the good news for Rogue is that the Baron buff is wearing off. They still hold on to their inhibitors and inhibitor towers. Mad need to go and catch top wave and bot wave.
Armor, please.
Extra Golden Maiden is available. Armor going in onto Odoamne. Odoamne then dives back in with the Ultimate himself. But Armut will die for the first time this game. 7-1-7, his flawless record stopped.
I thought that Mad would use that opportunity to try and push down the mid tower, but they're not going to take the gamble. They'll accept. Armut made a mistake. Get themselves another kill and a big shutdown.
Well, it's questionable.
The control still entirely belongs to Mad.
Yeah, I think when Armut's getting caught there, there's a couple options you have. You know, you have Realm Warp. You could Realm Warp the wave to tier 3 tower, Realm Warp your team to help Armut, but in the end, Mad Lions decide, well, it's just a kill. Yes, it's 1k gold. Yes, it's a huge shutdown. But losing more would be really, really, really bad. So let's just back off, let the kill happen, let the pick happen, let's all base, and keep control of this game.
And for the moment, Mad Lions very much have that. Truly in control of this game. Rogue pushbacks really haven't been able to find an answer at all so far. And the question is, what they do in the next drafts to really change things, because this game is as good as done. And we've seen how much pressure Mad were able to put through the top lane. Odoamne, traditionally one of the best players without jungle attention in the league. Here, he really struggled because Mad put so many players into that top lane.
That's the thing, right? It's not just jungle attention at that point. When the enemy mid can show up and dive you on every stacked wave, there's really not much you can do. Vinazir just has to TP in and defend you, and that's all you've got. Definitely questionable decision-making in the end, but Rogue backs against the wall here, just catching as many waves as they can. Hansam has just finished IE, so he has 3 items. Late game of Helios, late game of Zero, it's strong. But Mad Lions are 2 minutes 40 seconds away from a soul and 1 minute 30 seconds away from an instant Baron start. Rogue will have to respond eventually.
Now, Odoamne is doing a good job of keeping at least one side lane pushed at all times, whether it be top lane or bot lane. He's doing his best to try and keep these side lanes being a pain point for Mad Lions, so they don't have control of all 3 waves at all points in the game. So Humanoid's going to go catch that, and as he's catching that, look at Larson in the bot lane. He's answering this wave as well. He's going to get an opportunity to push this one out, but the problem is that will it really result in anything? You can see Larson yet to complete his 3rd item. Once he gets it, maybe there's a world where Rogue can actually win out in a 5 versus 5, but they're going to need to execute that fight to perfection.
Sorry, that hook shot from Odoamne is like just yeeting himself to the other side of the jungle. That was amusing to me, but as you say, very difficult here for Rogue to get back into this one.
Yeah, just when you're behind, you can only play on 1 lane. You can see Larson still pushing bot, like you said, and Mad Lions can play on 2 lanes. And playing on those 2 lanes could net themselves a tier 2 tower. Humanoid's going to base. I wonder if he's going to TP back to keep the pressure up, or he's just going to match Larson, because he's going for the inhib tower. Humanoid will win 1v1, so Larson might get this, but will have to back off when he sees Humanoid.
Does still have the teleport. Baron up in 19 seconds. Humanoid on his way. Has the realm warp to chase down Larsen if he so desires. Larsen's going to be able to retreat. Mad Lions now getting mid lane priority. Look at how many wards they have in the blue side.
Det jeg merker, som du har snakket om tidligere, at uansett hvem han spiller, så mister Larsen veldig sånn split-pusher. Holy shit, Armadillo!
You said it, Medic. There's so much vision. Odo has to face check Armwood, and from there, just saves his E to cancel Odo Amne's E as well. He dies 4v5 with Dragon spawning in 50 and Baron up. Mad Lion just have to push his mid wave and make a decision.
Rogue keeps trying to push in the waves to keep Mad away from the Baron. But look, Mad don't care. Humanoid's going to start this up along with Armored. Kazi's going to go and try and catch the mid wave, but he needs to be careful. There is a real risk of him diving, and Rogue is making the decision. Maybe we can get 2 inhibitors here in exchange for the Baron.
Yeah, Odo has TP in 15 seconds, but there's 100% going to be a fight here because Mad Lions won't let Rogue get away. Humanoid's going to collapse, Armored's going to collapse.
Flash quickness available. Inhibitor has not gone down. I think Rogue realized there would have been a fight if it had kicked off. And so they back away before the inhibitors are taken. TP available here for Larsen. Remember that. Cloud Soul now up for Mad Lions.
Look at Kaiser though. I don't think Rogue spotted him, did they? But they're TPing bots, so they must know something's up. Odo, is he going to face check Kaiser? Kaiser has an amazing position here to fight Dragon if he stays. He is going to stay. He has Flash Ultimate. He's behind Rogue and they have no idea where he is. They're going to get pincered from him from behind.
Rogue. He's behind you, and here comes the quickness. Kaiser immediately dives onto Larsen, and Larsen is popped down. Kaiser with the solid snake cosplay itself. 2 quick kills to Mad Lions. The Dragon falls as well. Rogue will take it, but Mad Lions are on the chase. They're looking for more as they want to clean up this game.
Og veldig forgiving Q, ass.
Hansama putting down the DPS. Kaiser now has a flank position of his own, but with the realm warp coming in, Hansama separated from Trimby. Kaiser forces Trimby to flash away, and Hansama is down. 4 kills to 1 for Mad Lions, for none.
Absolutely flawless flank from Kaiser. Sets up the engage onto the biggest potential threat from Rogue and allows the one-shot to happen. Rogue only have Trimby left to defend their base, and Mad are going to secure the first game in this best of 5.
It's been Mad controls from start to finish. Kaiser, the solid snake cosplay. The only thing that's ruined is Elyoya and Humanoid scoreline. Why did Humanoid get that extra kill? It could have looked picture perfect.
Welcome to the jungle, Rogue. Mad Lions take game 1, and it was a shellacking from start to finish. Mad Lions with top control, mid control. They were just able to take this game and wrest it out of any control that Rogue may have had.
Yeah, if you're Rogue, you have to go back to the drawing board or think of something different there. I think they could have gone for a blind pick weak side champ there and played hard bot side. Instead, they pick a carry champ, get counter picked, and they don't salvage it.
Red side. That's
side.
what I think. I think you need to remove red side from the Mad Lions. So far in playoffs, they've gotten their hands on it every time, which has always allowed Armut to get this winning topside matchup. And what happens to the Mad Lions when you remove that? What happens when he's forced to play it on the weak side?
Good question.
It is a very good question. Mad Lions did kick things off with a win, and the analysts will soon tell you all about it. As we go to a break, let's take a moment to preview the action tomorrow as G2 and Fnatic fight for the last spot at Worlds.
Vi ser da hvor mye poeng som ligger allerede. Jeg ikke kommet helt ennå. Den bruker å være ganske kjapp nå for det. Chat mener det at Rogue vinner.
Even though League of Legends is not a physical sport, there's the same eagerness and nerves before every single esports match.
That bod.
The same in swimming. It was always about getting closer to a new high that you can reach, an endless pursuit of perfection.
Da swing.
Even though I come so close, I don't feel bad about it.
Skal jeg legge frem
I work harder, it is gonna happen.
Hva du sa?
Legg frem meg
Movement that inspires.
Ja, ok.
Yo.
Men uansett hvordan det går i dag, da. Så det som er litt intriguing å tenke på, er jo det at det er ikke over for noen.
Pretty crazy win, I want to say, just in terms of how much action there was from the side of Mad Lions from minute 1 on the Rift. Let's take a look at the draft. Treats, we had a lot of takeaways in Ready Check, or a lot of predictions in terms of how Mad Lions is willing to sack lanes in terms of a better team fight composition, and Rogue kind of the other way around. How did the two teams approach this first draft, if you keep that in mind?
I think it was definitely different than what we expected. I think Mad Lions got kind of the best of both worlds here, where they had a lot of priority lanes and a lot of playmaking around top side, but also pretty good scaling. Whereas the Rogue side, they didn't really pick this early game style that they had before, because they picked the Camille and the Azir, which is not something that they usually do.
And I think we see that a lot, especially from the SC as well, where they weren't really able to impact any of the other lanes. And also having Odo on that Camille as a weak sider genuinely did not work out for them. So despite the bot lane even fighting a 2v2 or 2v1 rather, kill against Kazi, who's a bit overstepped, they were just never really able to equalize that to any amount, because the rest of the comp just never got ahead, and it was so hard to play into what Mad Lions had when they snowballed.
Treats, what do you make of then, if we look at the top side in isolation, the fact that Mad Lions, they give up the Zinzao, which we've heard is kind of one of the best options you can have. They also gave up the Trash. And then we get the blind pick from Odawame coming out of there. How do you then need to shape your plan as Rogue for the game?
I think Rogue in this specific draft, they kind of had to play through bot lane, but I don't think Aphelios, Thresh and Zinzao kind of takes over the game. They slowly get small victories, but they don't really explode the game. So the bot side lead that Rogue would get this game if they played through bot was not big enough. But then on the other hand, they're just outmatched on top side. Mad Lions just has a better top side skirmishing draft in early game, so it was really tricky from the draft.
Also, mid-jungle is always incredibly important, Goldberg, and you wanted to show us something in terms of Elyoya and Humanoid's play early in the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that Elyoya and Humanoid, quite generally, they just really smurfed this comp going into it. I think they had a lot of early game prowess, and I want to take a look through this replay. So as we highlight the main map, you can see that the two junglers are having different pathing up towards this one. Elyoya moving up towards the top side of the map, Inspired moving down towards the bot side of the map. And having mid lane priority in a scenario like this is pivotal if you want to dive, because from Rogue's point of view, you can move your mid laner and jungler down towards the bot lane if you have mid lane prio, but from Mad Lions' point of view, you can move it up towards the top side of the map. So pay attention what Elyoya does here. He skips the red buff, he skipped the Raptors, he walks into the mid lane, and Larsen spots this. Because Larsen spotted, he cannot get prio, and when this happens, I want to pause it and see what happens again on the mini-up. They're able to move all the way up towards the top side of the map. On the side of Rogue, they're going to be slow to the play. Larsen is stuck in lane, clearing his waves right now. And up towards the top side of the map, I want to take it back to the draft once again. You have this Camille into Jace, who does not control the waves. And because of this, with Humanoid and Elyoya moving up, it's the easiest dive of their life. Generally good tanking by Humanoid. And when the TP finally comes through from Larsen, it does not matter. The play has already happened, and the early game lead is in the favor of Mad Lions, and they got the TP advantage.
Yeah, it was crazy. I think in general, Treats, I was kind of taken off guard by the fact that the Mad Lions, you know, they took every single skirmish early. They initiated the dives and whatnot. Did that also catch you off guard?
Yeah, it's not something that they usually do, but I think they were just super confident in this draft in particular. They had the champs and they had the early game, so why not fight? I mean, it's not like they're bad fighting early game, they just usually don't play the style.
Let's talk a little bit more about this top lane matchup then, as we take a look at some of the other fights that occurred there. We have Armut versus Odawamne, of course. Now, this isn't necessarily a thing where you can blame the player, right? You also have to blame the draft, right, Goldberg?
Definitely, and it also happens again. Remember that telestrator we just had with Humanoid and Elyoya getting mid lane priority? Well, there you go. There's nothing you can do to up towards the top side. And that is the thing that happens when you give over 2 lanes with priority. Usually we see Rogue do this towards the bottom side, but Mad Lions, they completely took that and used it against Rogue, against Odawamne on a Camille that was blind picked.
And Treats, can you talk us a bit through how Mad Lions took over the control of the map? Okay, they got the skirmishes, but they also made the right, it seems like, tactical decisions after that.
Yeah, I think in general they had a lot of controls around their soul laners, so it was really easy for Kaiser to just find a lot of engages. And I think he had a superb game. He found a lot of angles on the Rakan, and he looked really confident, just like dodging skill shots left and right and finding these big windows where he would just get multi-man knockups.
No, absolutely. That Kaiser Rakan was very, very deadly. Now Rogue has an adaptation. They're moving on to the red side for game 2. And Goldberg, you were telling us when we were getting excited in the cast room, you were saying, yes, this doesn't happen 2 games in a row.
It definitely does not. And in a best of 5, we want to see adaptation every time. Losing game 1 in a best of 5, honestly, it's nothing. It should honestly be expected. I love this adaptation from Rogue because of the fact that now Armor does not get put in a position where he can get the counter pick, which means this time around you can at least secure one lane that is stable, and that should also put Odoamne in a position where he does not have to blind pick a lane that can get abused like we saw just in this game.
Are you following him in that regard? It will be the top lane.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's definitely forcing Armut to pick a safe blind that he usually does. I might see something like the Gnar from him, but I don't know if Odoamne has something really spicy cooking up. Maybe he has a really insane
En Gnar veldig sterk av grunnen.
so we'll have to find out, but it's most likely because of the top lane matchup indeed.
Yeah, hopefully, indeed. What are the general thoughts you walk away from this game 1 in terms of the
Har du
expectations? I know we had
mikken din
one
lavt
match
eller noe sånt,
prediction
eller?
for
For der
Trist and
strever
one
med å
road
høre det.
prediction for Goldberg.
Mor di,
So maybe
mann.
Goldberg, you can go first.
I
Ok,
didn't see that two-lane
det
priority
hørte
that
jeg
I
i hvert
usually
fall
see from Rogue in the
også.
laning phase. I think getting red side can put you in a spot where you can quite comfortably
Hva du
get
sa
at least a bot lane priority
om
and then
Gnar?
maybe mid to top. So that's what I'm expecting for the second game.
Ikke noe spesielt, det
I
er
think, yeah, I agree
bare
that
keep it
Rogue will change their plan and have a bit more
Armut.
priority in the draft.
Yeah.
I still think that Mad Lions just looked insanely sharp in their team fights and their engages, so I don't think that's going to change, but maybe it will not be as smooth sailing as the previous game.
All right, let's see what happens. Mad Lions on their way towards the summer finals, but we'll see if Rogue can bounce back and tie the series after the break.
Ja, bare sånn generelt fleksibel, holdt jeg på å si.
Men Ken er ganske bra med Ken.
Ja, og det er jo et av pikkene til Odoamne. Men altså, at de banner ut Kennen til Odoamne sånn generelt skjønner jeg jo da. Han er jo jævlig god på sjefen.
Ja, hvis han spiller, tenker jeg å spille Gnar. I hvert fall.
Jeg liker han mens Rogue drev og satt og chillet på bakrommet, så bare sånn mad, bare sånn, nei, vi tar den utenfor, vi.
En frisk luft. Litt korona. Oi, bore control HS.
It was a balance change.
Oi, for jeg elsker Rabbit of Demon-dekken.
Jeg fant ut at du tydeligvis kan ha Hearthstone Deck Tracker, gjør at du kan se på kort. Mulig at du visste fra før, men det er sånn...
Ja.
Blir det hjelpe meg som ikke kan en dritt om det her?
Take 7 damage on a turn reward.
Ja, questen til han, det er sånn, du bare tar masse damage, og når du får det til, når du completer questen, når du har completet hele questen, så når du tar damage på din tur, så er det opponenten din som tar det i stedet for.
La oss laste ned Hearthstone.
I heard the best deck in the game was...
Ja, så lager sånn syke memes.
Jeg har ikke Battle.net lastet ned.
Baby steps.
Det ble Battle.net i dag, og Hearthstone... Nei.
Hva sier du? Battle.net.shop? Ja, kjøp deg det, Diablo.
Jeg har jo Diablo.
No games in one place. Og ikke hør på fyren.
I'm gonna stick one a Hearthstone game.
Se på ene modden, så bare jeg som skriver.
This was better than I expected, to be honest.
Rogue!
Den eneste som skriver.
Oi. Imagine hadde fortsatt spille Hearthstone. Sherma! Bare gå på skjermen. Jeg skjønner ikke igjen noen kortene.
Nei, same. Your next spell-liste...
Har vi kommet oss den til tiden nå at alle tingene som er normalt, utenom classic-kordene, har blitt tatt vekk fra metaen?
He's out of cards.
Tydeligvis. Det er jo en ting som heter for tradable nå, hvis du får et kort. Du har ikke lyst på det kortet akkurat nå. Og det har tradable, så kan du sende det tilbake i dekken og dra et nytt et.
It's fine, right?
Ja, det virker jævlig gøy.
Kan bare ha en full deck med sånne ting, og så bare ha sånn korsen du har. Bare en kombo der.
Jeg tror ikke det er så mange av dem da.
Guys, don't make these scary faces, please.
Du sier bare... dekken, altså. Det var litt sånn...
What does he have left? I mean, he has a wicked step stuff left, I guess. Healing that for once, so bad.
Identify your sexuality.
I think I'm just going to full life.
Jeg husker jo ikke passordet mitt.
I think we do it like this. And we just hope we have enough lives. I don't know how he's going to do it. He's definitely going to go Garrett, second Garrett, and try to win that way.
Virkelig?
I don't think he has the burn, but maybe he does. Can also still top the
NCB.
case, right?
Jeg måtte se. Hæ?
He even cheated in 10 with that mask.
Jeg måtte S.
Brukerforeslått passord. Det var en fin brukerforeslått passord, altså.
He has a wife with spell damage, huh?
Sånn 20x og 5454x og...
Ja, altså Google tar ofte og foreslår passord man skal bruke, og så er det bare sånn, ja, men slapp av. Du trenger ikke huske på det, vi lagrer det.
Okay.
Ja. Det høres veldig sikkert ut.
Ja.
Could I save some heal behind guys and I would have blocked the item? I mean, he can just kill the Talons and I die, right?
And they've chosen red side. I think this is Rogue's first red side game in playoffs. And I think that's exactly what you need to force Armuds to blind pick top.
I'm a big fan. Let's see now how the draft shapes up. So, Ezreal and Ziggs going to continue to be removed from both sides. Thresh now banned by the Mad Lions. Even though they found a way of dealing with it in game one, they say, you know what, we don't want to run the risk of giving that one over. So Rogue now adapt and remove the Varus from Kazi's hand.
Ezreal, Varus down. I think Mad Lions, are you going to respond with a Kalista ban here? Because Rogue has swapped everything up. Normally they were banning away mid laners, TF was being banned away, LeBlanc, everything's open. And Rogue are focusing really heavily on bot lane. 380 carries already banned away, makes Kalista very, very strong.
I hvert fall veldig mange midler som kommer til å
Kalista, I really want to see Mad Lions pick Draven.
Oh, you want the Draven? Okay.
I want the Draven Kalista.
I mean,
Ashe would be one, yeah.
I'm expecting an Ashe Xayah. A part of me even thinks Mad Lions may take the Fnatic approach and go Xayah Khan very early on into the draft.
Yeah.
We saw how comfortable Kaiser was on the champion, and I think that it is also just an AD carry that has so much safety and a 2v2 lane that is very strong in the current meta. So we shall see. Xin, of course, left through the ban phase. All powerful junglers left through the ban phase. So now, will Elyoya go for the Lee Sin once again, or will they go for the Viego?
Yeah, Rogue have a small problem here. If Mad Lions first pick Lee Sin, they can't take away LeBlanc because they're playing LeBlanc into Lee Sin, Lissandra, perhaps. And if they do first pick the Lee Sin, you're going to have to give away the LeBlanc, so you want to count pick mid on 3, you'd expect. But as I say, all this Lee Sin thing...
De tar den igjen.
Now, interestingly, this Ryze pick, the last time it was picked, LeBlanc and
Så det er sånn at taperen velger side?
What it does do, though, is immediately allows Humanoid the ability to get out of lane. Realm Warp, roaming, that's what Humanoid has been so good at.
Men så Rogue blir vanligvis til å spille blue side, altså?
Where he made his name, really, of course, with it being banned out here, the Rise gives him that opportunity, although on a slightly less global stage, and Rogue decide that they want the Lee Sin for themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a good pickup with Sin Zhao down. Now the question is, Mad Lions, how do they match it? Trundle or Viego, you'd expect will come out.
Surely this is a Syndra from Rogue. Thoughts?
Syndra could work. Any control mage is always good into Rise, but I think things with kill pressure is what I like to see.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they go for the Orianna, it's definitely, I would say, more of a comfort for Larson, and it's still a very good matchup into the Rise, but in terms of the mid-jungle 2 versus 2, I would say it's not as strong.
They're going to go back to Aphelios and probably counter-pick support on 3. Maybe Larson's confident he can go 4-5 against the Rise. You know, Orianna, Victor, Syndra, LeBlanc are all up. So mid lane, Rogue don't want to prioritize it early because they think they have enough. Aphelios blind pick for counter-pick support, Mad Lions. So they're going to pick jungle on bot lane.
I think bot lane makes a lot of sense. That Rakan still available. We saw how much effect Kaiser could have on it in game one. Of course, blind Rakan can be a little bit tricky, but Viego has made his way through picks and bans. It's the first time we have seen Elioya pick it up this playoffs.
Har ikke han spilt I playoffs, ja.
Play during the regular season, which he was doing against Botline. I forget exactly which team it was against, but he basically used every champion on the enemy team and was able to get a bunch of kills off the back of it. I'm sure he's going to be Viego things. So Mad Lions are going to continue with the trend of prioritizing their top side, but this will give Rogue the opportunity to counterpick. The question is, how will they do it?
Oh, are they going to give them their taste of their own medicine? Larsen's laughing a bit with the hover. Now, Mad Lions, Jace is Armwood's favorite top laner, so blind picking in on blue side doesn't seem to bother him too much. Now, it's all on Rogue. What response do they have? It's going to be the Orianna into Ryze, which we saw hovered in the 1-2. And top lane will be picked later on. Rogue expected to save their last pick for support. And Mad Lions, no bot lane just yet, will get banned away. But this Jace, if it can be dealt with in this game, then Rogue are sitting comfortably for the rest of the series. If they can't find a pick to deal with it now, then they're in danger.
I think that Mad Lions can just consider banning out top laners right now. And you would imagine that Rogue is looking to ban out either supports, because they can then first pick their support, or instead they can ban out AD carries. And it looks like support is going to be the focus. Rakan are going to be removed off the board. Wouldn't be surprised to see a Leona ban to follow this up as well.
Maybe a Brown ban from Mad Lions with Rakan taken away. Could be something they want to invest in, but with Orianna, you want to go for hard engage. Alistar, Leona, Nautilus, all up there and things that go in. I think they need some kind of engage if they're playing this Orianna. Malphite ban, I respect it. I think a 4-pick Malphite would be dangerous, but you don't want to play with fire. Playing Jace into Malphite is never fun, especially like my solo queue games where people think they can play Jace top and get solo killed by the Malphite level 3. And from that point onwards, I know it's doomed.
Was it you that was?
Yeah, it was you playing Jace.
No, it wasn't me.
Okay, good one, very good one.
All right, let's see what Rogue choose to remove. So they're actually not going to do any more support bans. They're going to remove the Ashe. We talked a little bit about the Ashe, but I think this also removes the Xayah Rakan option as well. So what direction will Kazi now go in? Because there aren't that many AD carries left for him to choose.
Yeah, I think Karzi might go for things like Xayah, like you're talking about, but Xayah into Orianna Aphelios doesn't sound so fun, but maybe we'll see a Jhin come out from Karzi. But
Tristana?
for now, Tristana could be one, but Leona gonna get picked up here. I thought that Rogue would pick their top laner here, but I think Braum, Rakan down, Thresh down, Leona is just raising so high in priority, it just makes sense to pick it up.
That's the thing, and Kaiser has always been so good at these engaged supports. We already said Mad Lions need a little bit of engage in their lineup, so the question is, where can they find that now? Things like the Alistar are available, but apart from that, maybe a Blitzcrank is a possibility?
Trundle into Leona.
Blitzcrank?
Also negates any top lane last pick. If Odoamne wants to pick something like, I don't know, Sion Ornn top, then obviously the Trundle will negate that. Oh, Kalista still up, but I think going Kalista into Orianna Leona is a little bit risky, but Karzi's no stranger to playing dangerous.
And it is going to be the Kalista locked in there for Karzi, one of Hans Summer's favorite champions. Karzi's going to show him how to pilot it. Alongside that, Mad Lions looking at the Bard.
I feel like you need to swap the team's names. I feel like Mad Lions' draft is Rogue, and Rogue's draft is Mad Lions. Would you agree?
I mean, yeah, I think that I've seen both teams play these compositions. The thing is that when I look at Mad Lions, I always think of having these now really strong solo laners that they can very easily play through. But the thing is, they have an ability to play through the small side of the map as well, especially once you hit that level 6.
Ja, de er sikre på at de ikke bare har feila med Sian, liksom. Horde på Odoamne? What?
Det er første gang jeg har spilt med.
I splitten? Men har Odoamne spilt noe mye?
Hæ?
Har Odoamne spilt noe mye, liksom?
Jeg tror det var siste
Kalista because of the range difference. Now looking at these comps, Mad Lions again, 1-3-1 comp. I would say 2 winning lanes on side lane, 100%. They should have the push and they should contest it. Mid lane a lot more contested, depends who wants to trade mana for HP.
Helt hvordan det funker på matchupet, men I guess
surprisingly, not much prio, but a lot of team fight. Mad Lions, a lot of prio, not so much team fight.
I think that Rogue is sitting here saying that, you know what happened last game is not going to be allowed to happen again. We will not let you snowball the same way. This game is going to come down to team fighting. We want a better team fighting comp. We'll see if Rogue can actually get themselves to that position. If they can play out the 5v5 and in terms of straight front to back 5v5, then they could very well be in a good position. The question is, will they be allowed to get there in an even gold state?
Game 1 was very much defined by the fact that Mad Lions were able to get their top side ahead. Elioya, Armored, and Humanoid all getting the snowball rolling, and the rest of the squad able to close it out. This time, Rogue looking to thaw that snowball just a little bit. Can they strike back against Mad Lions here?
Det var skrevet nice. Du pauset streamen. Hvordan våger du?
Jeg må bare sjekke at Hearthstone... Det er Lore som skal suge Mac. Det går bra.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of scaling, so I guess they're looking to late game team fight us, but I feel a bit bad for Mr. Odoamne on weak side duty again. But we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes indeed, and back to you guys on the Rift.
Okay, guys. Not much happening. There is a ward here on the Rogue red buff. I think the important question is, do you know the name of the Ornn mythic upgrades?
Oh.
Because I have no clue.
What? That's like your job.
So I'll do all the team fight stuff. You guys think of cool names as we go through, okay?
Okay,
I'm expecting a cool name from both of you.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan, Medic.
Start bildet. Sykt, for han har et bilde midt i lane.
I'm going to highlight some of this early vision that has been set up here towards the top
Ja,
side.
han kan
So,
det?
double ward's been placed from the Mad
What?
Lions to investigate where
Ikke
exactly Rogue is
hvert
starting. And as you can see on the
present
minimap, they're not starting on the red
Ja,
buff. So
okay.
Mad Lions are aware of this, which means that both junglers matching
Ornn som beste dreven, som jeg ikke har
I think that we kind of talked about it in draft. Rogue, lots of scaling, lots of team
forstått
fights,
så
no
mye.
pryos.
Har du lyst til å
Mad
logge
Lions,
inn
although they don't have that
mail
much
som du
team fight in
aldri
terms of, you know, big
bruker,
AoE spells, they have good
eller
engage from the Alistar, of course, and they should naturally be ahead before the team fight kicks off. They should have control, or they should have
Skal
control
logge
lead,
inn på Hearthstone?
or they should be ahead in some form or shape before the fight starts, and that's what will give them the advantage to leverage the team fights depending on how far ahead they are.
Let's see if Rogue are able to get into that position at the moment, though. Both junglers starting on the bottom side, working up towards top. A little bit of a switch here from Inspired, who last time started at the top side and worked down towards bottom lane. And we saw Odoamne get caught out and get killed a lot of times in the early game because Inspired wasn't around, because he wasn't able to help out his top laner. Here, of course, Odoamne on more of a traditional tank, a much safer pick. Question is, can he survive any early pressure that might come down from Elioya?
Lekk, men jeg skjønner han har gjort en syke Leeson plays på
Ja, og så virker det jo som Leeson blir jo pikka hvert jævla game, så han må være ganske sterk, da.
Ja.
Det sier litt om hvor sterk han var før han ble nerfa, vil jeg vel tro.
He's going to be able to push in that
Yeah.
wave much faster. So let's see if he moves into the fog. And notice this little ward in the topside river. Rogue is prepared for the potential roam, and lo and behold, Humanoid is going to move into the river as he often does, and he's going to get spotted out.
Yeah,
Inspired snuck past us.
Yeah, if we could look at the top wave as well, I think it's crashing. I think they're giving up. They're going for Inspired instead. He has Smite. He's going to get it. Mad Lions with his prio lanes aren't going to get anything. Inspired can get these Krugs. Elioya will get top grab as expected from the prio top. And Inspired there, just pathing top to cover Odoamne. This is what you like to see. I think they should have done this last game. Just cover top and cover the first couple of waves to make sure they can't get a dive off. And now Rogue sitting comfortable.
Gigawatt
Strong position right now.
Healer masse
Comfortable position. Strong is probably overkill as Elioya takes the first scuttle crab of the game. Importantly, Elioya skipped 2 camps on his first.
Det jeg ikke liker med Ornn, og hver gang jeg har spilt mot den, så er det sånn, tar ikke damage, så det blir sånn, rumble damage. Jeg bare, hva?
Hun Summer and Trimby with the priority in the bottom lane could work their way up towards the scuttle crab. Instead, they just place the ward to make sure they're safe. Return to forcing Kazi and Kaiser underneath.
Han kjøpte seg et Dawn Shield.
A small issue I see with Mad Lions right now is you have a top lane that needs resources and a bot lane that needs resources. You have a Kalista and a Jace. Now this is very, I mean, you don't tend to see this often where you have both of these champions because they require jungle attention, and it's hard to juggle jungle attention when you have an even slash slightly favored mid jungle. So we'll see where they put the resources. Armwood has TP'd back top. So we'll see if he does get attention to force Odoamne's TP out early, but bot lane is also going to be very, very volatile, I think.
So in my opinion, I think that given the item reworks, I think Jace scales a little better than he used to. So in the past, I think it was really important that he did get early game resources, but I think in a matchup like this, where he's playing against an Ornn, where I think in the straight up 1v1, Armored is always going to be fine. Personally, I think it makes more sense for Mad to actually invest in the bot side of the map, to actually try and accelerate this Kalista Alistair, and actually just leave Armored to play out in the 1v1, and kind of accrue advantages himself, while also kind of scaling in terms of the 1v1 inside lane.
Yeah, I think that's completely right. I think the only trouble they might run into is if they're not playing topside, Armored could get ganked and fall behind. They have a lot of kill pressure with Auto Amne and Inspired, so they have to play topside, I think, to just cover the Jace. There's not a lot of bot pressure in terms of kills, like the Alistar can knock away the Leona. They can play safe and just go even in 2v2, but if the Jace falls behind, that's one of your, I think, the biggest win condition in this draft.
Once again, we see Humanoid moving from the mid lane, going up towards the top side. Is held onto his TP here, whereas Larson burnt his to get back towards the lane. He's getting up towards that level 6. And of course, it was Elioya and Humanoid who had such a strong performance in game 1 that really helped Mad get out to that early lead. They're looking for more.
Det der er jo gøy, for det er jo omvendt når midlaneren ganker jungleren. Kaiser.
Humanoid now with the lock up onto Larson, who's going to try and get away, but he's been stunned up, and Larson will be killed. Humanoid with the first blood.
Just as you say it, Medic, they make the play happen. Investing 2 flashes to get a kill is always worth it. First blood goes over to Humanoid, and it looks like they might be able to get a dragon off the back of that as well. Kaiser's just going to stay in the middle to make sure that Rogue can't full rotate to stop it. Auto Amne's being top. Yep, Humanoid can push in and just help out Elioya. So killing a Drake already in this early
Jeg hørte døra, var du bort eller noe?
For those plates, put himself in a very difficult position in the mid lane, and he knew where Humanoid was. He knew he'd be rotating through the top river. I think the thing that caught him off guard was the fact that
Jeg bare synes det var, som man sier, litt gøy når midlaneren ganker jungleren, ikke omvendt.
identifying that opportunity and being able to punish him and securing that first blood once again.
We didn't talk much about Larson in
Early,
didn't really do much. I think we were about 25
early
minutes in
flame
before
Drake
he
er
got
ganske
on the board. Never mind a
nice
kill
da.
or an assist. And the question is for me, back on these utility
Taket
mages, whether you
Kalista og
have
litt
more of an
sånne ting.
impact this game, because in these
Single
series
iron
versus Misfits,
break.
he actually had a very strong performance. He was up in, he wasn't in his lane that much, but he had high kills and assists at 15-minute mark. He had high kill participation at the 15-minute mark because he was teaming up with Inspired.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's because Mad Lions are blind picking Ryze every game, so he feels inclined to go back to Comfort and pick a control mage into it, out-range him and just outscale. That might be one of the reasons Larson's just tending towards this. We'll have to keep our eye on it as the series progresses. If it does, though, it's good game 3 and a game 4, because this Ryze could be a big problem if it's able to push in, gets really good gank setup, and is able to move around the map. Rogue have shown that if this game doesn't work out, they don't really have a response to it.
Remember that when it comes to Mad's draft, a lot of the burden of execution falls on Mad's shoulders. When you're Rogue, you could sit there and say like, okay, sure, they played the early game extremely well in game 1, but we don't think they can do it again. We can change our draft slightly to be able to manage that early game pressure, and if we just ward better, we can mitigate Humanoid's early game impact. So instead, let's just wait for late game, let's just not give them the same early game gold lead, and let's just rely on our team fighting and draft
Blæst litt
scale,
flamme og
and
bli
then
en
we should be able to come
støppeball
out on top.
og
The
rulle
question
litt.
is, can they actually control this early game? And so far, 7.5 minutes in, with only 1 death, Rogue is holding on for the time being.
Sitt han bare i lane og kjøper sånne Ruby Crystals
So just have scaling, fall behind, it's a 5-head play.
It's true, you've cracked the code.
Cracked the code. No, but I think the biggest problem Rogue have this game, especially is Humanoid's movement on the map. He just keeps pushing in midway,
Jo,
control
men
his top side. Look at the,
ja, med tanke på
the
manaen
top side
sin.
ward on Raptors,
Går man
ward in
spellbook
topside
på
five,
år?
Humanoid keeps going up there. No flash on Humanoid though, he's in trouble.
Doesn't have too much to work with, and he's already down. Elioya now
Oi da.
going to have to use the Heartbreaker to get away.
Oi da.
Rogue finding a kill in the mid lane, just as you were praising Humanoid.
Yeah, every single time we talk about mid lane, someone dies there. Humanoid dies, has no flash, really good setup. Larson gets the shockwave, Inspired lands a QR combo, so now the mid jungle's fighting back.
Lee sin gir sånn generelt jævlig høy kill pressure, ass.
Ja, gang.
Ja, tidlig som ja.
Try and accelerate the early game, funnel more gold into them by taking this objective away. It makes it so much easier to prevent that from happening.
Yeah, no ultimates in this fight apart from Auto Amnes.
Chase
Top. Call of the Forge God is available. Inspired working his way up towards that as well. That Rift Held has reset. Armor's going to knock Odo Amne back. Elioya keeps the Rift Held interested. And that's a good play there for Mad Lions, able to use the fact that Inspired has leashed the Rift Held and take it for themselves.
Have a look at the bot line of mid
Det var
lane.
litt sad times for Inspired, ja. Gjør all arbeidet.
The map that I think Rogue was respecting. They knew that the potential collapse was real, and they didn't want to risk it. So that small advantage Rogue is looking to get, that denial of the Rift Herald, is going to be stopped, and Mad Lions will get it for themselves.
Yeah, that's really important, especially when you're playing this 1-3-1 comp, giving it over to Ryze, Jace. Even, heck, if you can get a bot play, giving it to Kalista is so important. I think Rogue really wanted to deny that away, but you're completely right. The Alistar moving up means numbers disadvantage. Odoamne gets cancelled there. Elio is around, has the flash. I think Odoamne can't get away here.
He's got Ignite, and he's got a flash, and a Call of the Forge God himself. Armor's going to tank up this tower.
Oi. Farlig.
Away. Humanoid is working his way up and does have the Realm Warp as well, but Larson and Inspired will keep him at bay.
Odoamne was in a really good position to kill Armut there. Yeah. I think it was smart of Armut to flash. Odoamne also running the Ignite, you can see thanks to his spell.
Blir ganka nesten drept henne liksom.
Because he was in some serious danger there now. Inspired looking to invade, steal away this blue.
No smite though. Stare down. He gets it in front of him. He can get the stun as well. Inspired looks to the kick. Kaiser's around though. This could be dangerous.
Inspired did not know that the cow was waiting for him. Flash away.
The cow.
Stun from Kaiser. Elioya coming in as well, but Kaiser will secure the kill.
Ja, vet du hva? At Kaiser får kills, det er ikke akkurat noe jeg klager på, vet du, har han nå. Bare mobbe Trymbi.
Does still have the flash to get away, but the Heartbreaker will chase him down. And Mad Lions get 2 quick kills in the jungle.
Yeah, Rogue looked for a play once again, but Kaiser's first to the play. He was right behind Humanoid when Inspired
Kaiser er MVP I dag, ass.
Like a stare down. Inspired had no smite, Humanoid had no clue. He gets it, and he asks himself, what is this Lee Sin doing? Inspired can't really kick him into anyone unless he gets him back in towards the river, because that's where Larson and Trymbi was. Really good response from Kaiser. He's reading the map very well this game.
He just keeps showing up. Like, Kaiser is just everywhere. Yeah, let's keep our eyes on it, because as you rightly said, he's looking to roam, something that both these supports often do, but I do not think that Inspired was expecting this to happen. Yes, he's trying to set up that play on for Trymbi and Larson to arrive, but the fact that Kaiser is there first prevents the play from happening, and then a great use of the Realm Warp.
Oh, Elioya, was he on the edge this time? I think he was, because he ulted over the wall, so he must have been. So he does take this Realm Warp, fighting bot lane.
Kazi has to use the cleanse to get away from the stun. The shield of Daybreak won't be enough.
Jeg kan ikke glemme at bare blir, uansett med bugs og alt og sånt, det blir bare påses på Fnatic Games. Litt hard.
Kaiser body blocking for his jungler there. Didn't have ultimate, but said his life was less valuable than that of Elioya. Kaiser doing a great job pretty much every which way, and now Mad Lions will convert this into a Drake. But the biggest thing here is that we said Rogue need to try and control the early game. They need to prevent Mad from getting these early game advantages. And funnily enough, it's Rogue's proactivity that is repeatedly being punished. Very similar to what we saw in
Var ikke det den som var gay? Eller var det Wind?
Yeah, it's the play in top side now, play in bot side. Armor TP advantage. I guess the only really good thing for Rogue here is Armor TP down, he got nothing. Odoamne gets 2 plays top, so top matchup is now skewed towards the Ornn, but that's about it. Cars is accelerated, Humanoid's accelerated, Elioya is as well, and the big thing to take away from this is they already have 2 dragons at 12 minutes in the game.
Mad Lions have to keep this game going, keep it moving though, because of course Kalista not as strong as an Aphelios when we get towards that late game portion, doesn't quite have the front to back damage that the Aphelios will be able to put out. And with only 1,000 gold lead, Mad Lions perhaps not as far ahead as they would have liked.
Yeah, I think they need more. 100% they need more, because Rogue's teamfight's still very powerful. Leona, Orianna, Ornn into Kalista, Ryze. The range difference is massive, so Mad Lions, Rogue are still in a good spot. It's not the best, not the end of the world, but they can still hold on.
I mean, has Kaiser actually been with Kazi for this entire game? He's taking social distancing a little bit too far, in my opinion.
Hex Flash.
Rift Herald coming in, Hex Flash. He goes back, decides not to chase in on it, but you can see the difference between the supports. Trymbi does love roaming as well, but Kaiser is just so rarely actually in that bottom lane.
Yeah, just keeps roaming around to help out these solo laners, which are the win conditions for Mad Lions. Armut's going to trade onto Odoamne here and push him away.
He wins
the Brittle. He's a tank DPS mage wizard assassin. It's Ornn.
Just Ornn things.
Oh yeah. You know, once you take a long enough break, it's nice to see Ornn do things like that again. And I think
one game, we get one game.
But I think that was so well played from Odoamne. He punishes Armut over aggression there in the 1 versus 1, and it's such a stark contrast to what we saw in game 1, where Odoamne was consistently attacked. Putting him on this weak side tank gives him so many more options, and the fact that Armut TP down, you talked about it, giving a little bit more gold, giving a little bit more experience to Odoamne, gave him that early level advantage, and he's able to find himself a kill. So with the gold now dead even, you can see that Rogue's win condition of waiting for the later team fights and how much harder it's going to be for this Kalista to play in the 5v5 is starting to become a bigger and bigger threat.
Yeah, this kill breaks the map open slightly because now the Ornn is 2 levels up and can start pushing in the Jace. Now, earlier, around a minute ago or two, I said that Rogue's in a really dire spot because Mad Lions, they're in full control of the game. Yes, they're only ahead 501k gold, but they had full river vision. They had Herald to work with. They're sitting at 2 dragons. So the early game, as much as it's not working out in gold, it's working out in objectives and control. Now that control has faded because Odoamne has retaken control of top side, and he has pink ward in river, and he can push in and look at him on the minimap. He can move down towards bot side now to relieve pressure in mid, which will help the whole map out.
Humanoid has the Everfrost here in the mid lane, just tries to force Larson back. You can see Odoamne, as you say, providing pressure even if he doesn't actually show his face. The fact that he is not in top lane makes it hard for Mad Lions to make a play, because that Call of the Forge God could come in from the side. Here goes Kaiser, has the flash, and gets the...
Dæven, det voldtekt, ass.
Locked in place, Moonlight Vigil won't be enough, and now the TP coming in from Odoamne. He's going to be caught by himself underneath this tower. Trimby's on his way as well. There's the root. He is very tanky, but he doesn't have MR, and Humanoid is there. Odoamne down to half HP, dashes away. Dragging up in a minute 40, while Larson and Inspired are pushing in mid.
Yeah, they're going to get a mid-tier 1 here. Mad Lions get themselves a kill. I think they have to force this bot tier 1. Odoamne has ult to clear out the wave if he wants to. They're going to go for a dive. This could be really risky.
Here comes the face call. Trimby locked up, stunned in place. Kaiser underneath the tower. But
Han
as you say,
fikk
that
ikke...
tanky, and Humanoid was not here.
Han fikk ikke...
Kaiser
Geita.
goes down, but it's 2 for 1 in Mad Lions' favor.
The exchange is a mid-tier 1 for a big dive and more kills for Mad in the bot lane. They're going to be able to get themselves another tower. And Rogue is looking to try and get themselves the second Herald. Really well executed dive from Mad there. Odoamne not quite able to get the knockup from his E. And overall, Mad getting more kills onto their plays. 3-0-0 for this Kalista now. Once again, changes the dynamic of this game.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the replay of that fight because Kaiser is the MVP in both of those kills. First, he just kind of stares down Hans and just skill checks him by just instantly flash comboing him. Hans doesn't react. Second time around, he uses his combo to cancel Odoamne on the ultimate. Kaiser, man of the dive here. You can see here, Hans has flash, but Kaiser just instantly goes for it. See if Hans can react. In the end, he doesn't. And then on the redive, it looks risky, but Mad Lions, the initial dive, they don't have a wave. That's why they have to back off of this first dive. Hang on, we've got another dive, perhaps. Actually,
Ja, men hva helvete da?
So unfortunate to be carry. Kaiser doesn't quite manage to get the knockup, but the Everfrost is there. The root is there. He's fine.
Oi.
I forgot what Aphelios was like. We forgot what Ornn was like. Aphelios, an original 200 years champion here, wins out in a 2v1, and Hans Summer able to outplay that one.
Well, going into melee range when you have that many chakrams, I can hear Daniel Dracos right now. That was an easy one for the Aphelios. No ultimate on Kaiser either. It will mean that Rogue get themselves a kill and a tower back, and you can see that they are willing to scrap, they are willing to fight, they're getting a little bit more control over the map as Mad continue to look for picks. Now they've got Odoamne in their sights.
Importantly though, Rogue get the priority on this dragon as well, which means Mad Lions dragon stacking will go down. Odoamne gonna sacrifice himself for that Ocean Drake. Call of the Forge God did come out. Armor will get the kill, but the Ocean Drake here for Rogue really slows down the Mad Lions game plan.
And that is so important, especially when you think back to the interview that Mac had at the start of this game with Law, where he said, yeah, they've got a lot of team fight, yeah, they got a lot of scaling, but we'll see if they can pull it off anyway. And it just seems they're only down 1k gold now. Gold doesn't matter as much in this early game, but neutral objectives does. They're able to trade back towers. They're only 1 tower down, and they've taken this dragon to give themselves at least an extra 10 minutes to work with. And Hans picks up the kill. I thought he was dead there, but I think Kaiser failing the combo, and then Humanoid having to flash as well to commit, made it so Hans was either going to trade for a kill, or he could just flash away because there was a TP behind him to save him.
Those chakrams, man, that like, especially when you're that close, you attack even faster as well. It was just, yeah, he had the right guns for that sort of a situation, and it looked like he was overextended, but it turns out that it was you, Mad Lions, who was overextended. They invested a TP into that play as well and didn't get much off the back of it.
Betty, look at those wards. You can see the wards on Krugs and one in the lane behind them. Armut has TP, and Rogue's next objective is this top tier 1. There's a world where Mad Lions collapse top here, and they TP behind. Odoamne's reading the play. Oh, baby, here it comes!
Realm Warp as well. Odoamne's on his way up, but Humanoid and Allure already here. Armut there as well. Trimby the first target. Hex splash across the wall, and Kaiser finds Hans Summer. 1 down already. Hans Summer dead as well. Rogue were unable to react in time, and Odoamne's getting forced off only by Kazi here as well. Odoamne gonna get slowed up with the Ren. Kazi doesn't want to overstep because Larson and Inspired were on their way.
It's just set up to perfection, isn't it? They put a ward behind Rogue's only objective on the map. They know they have TP advantage. Realm Warp the team in. TP behind. 2 quick kills for Mad Lions. Shuts down Rogue even more, who are trying to play on this top wave. And then they just die.
Matt's utilization of the teleports is
Rip
fantastic.
Trumby 04.
Kept Kazi in the mid lane to catch the wave. They have the realm warp to cut off one route of escape. And look at the positioning of
Kan Ryze gå ut av sin egen ultimate, eller blir han alltid med? Han kan gå ut, ja.
The funny thing to me about this play is you talk about routes, but there's no route that Rogue can run away from. The tri-bush, there's 3 exits, but all of them are covered by Mad Lions. 1 TV behind, 1 Alistar behind, and Ryze Viego running at your face. Now Mad Lions have taken control of topside, and they have the whole map to work with.
I'm loving this evolution of Mad Lions. You can see it's the dynamic duo Alyoya and Humanoid teaming up over and over and over again. 2x and 6 their scorelines, and on top of that, Armut, who has traditionally been a weak point for this team, a guy that can really only play Wukong or Na, consistently performing in his lane, consistently getting pressure and being able to use that to get an advantage in the game.
Yeah, I think that it's a far cry from his regular season performance where a lot of people were critical and, you know, doubtful. They considered him a weak point. It was a discussion you and I had coming into the first week around what draft options he would have, but he's getting champions that he's comfortable on and he's performing on them. He did get solo killed by Odoamne in this game, but everyone gets solo killed by an Ornn every now and then.
Happy little accent. It's just a matchup.
It's just a matchup.
It's just a matchup. It's just a pro player classic.
Now the red buff is going to be handed over to Hans Sama. The next Drake is in about 2 minutes, and for the time being, Rogue starting to get their second items through, but going to wait a little bit longer before they force these fights.
Yeah, just as Shock said in the start of Ready Check, where she was talking about Rogue, she was talking about Mad Lions, she was talking about talent factories. Look at these players. 7 out of 3 of these players went through EU Masters. Armut obviously went through TCL. Odoamne and long-standing veterans in the LEC now. But 7 of these players went through EU Masters to get to this point they are now, Vidius.
It's pretty crazy how the talent system here in Europe has worked out. The fact that both these teams sit atop of Europe as well, knocking out the former Kings, who we will see play tomorrow. But it's very impressive the development that they have made, and we'll see which one will be making their way to the final. Game 2, Mad right now sit with the gold lead, about 3k. Their solo laners are in prime position to carry. 2 items completed for top, mid, and AD carry. And while Orianna is looking to be quite a threat, level 14, highest level in the game, 2 items completed. That Ori needs a little bit more setup around her before she can really start to tear through these fights.
And that's the thing, if you just look at the map, she needs setup, so she needs people to group. And when you group, you lose sidewave, so Humanoid smartly just keeps on pressuring through bot. Odoamne's built a lot of armor, so putting Armut into that lane without a Dominix or a Cyrildes is very risky, so let's put their AP Rise into it with 2 items.
Warnas tar ikke physical damage,
That pink ward on the blue buff should be enough to help him out to spot out jungle, which will be
Han har så mye armor, han.
Then he should be able to push out the side lanes in bot lane to make sure Rogue have to eventually keep pacing.
With the Ocean Drake coming up in 30 seconds time, you have to expect that the next point of contest between these two teams.
Han spiller mot.
Dragon for themselves about 5 minutes ago really slowed down Mad Lions' game plan. In all honesty, Rogue could just say, we don't want to fight this, but because Hans Summer's just picked up his Runan's Hurricane, his second item, and because Larson is with the Ludens and the Sebas, and Odoamne now upgrading his Frozen Fist, having a Thorn Mail, I actually think Rogue are in a pretty good spot to try and take a 5v5.
Yeah, giving the Motion Soul point is too risky. If they steal it, if they sneak it away, it's very dangerous for the entire rest of the game. The fight might start, but Rogue don't find the engage here. Mad Lions going first.
They're looking for Inspired. Inspired has to safeguard away, jumps to a ward. As his trinket down for the moment. Dragon started up, I believe, by Mad Lions. Humanoid and Alyoya doing it. Armut a bit separate from the rest of the team. Flanking, pincer maneuver perhaps for him, as if he can get on towards Hans Summer, he can do a lot of damage. Infernum Crescendo with the guns for the Aphelios. Dragon taken, Mad Lions get the soul point. There is the Moon Prison. Odoamne is going to use it to get away. Call of the Portugal coming out as well. Humanoid pops a stopwatch. Alyoya still on the front line. It's fine.
For en syk listen kick. Oh my god. For en fight. What the actual fuck? Holy what?
Hva var det som skjedde med det?
Lise, ok, Inspire gjør den sykeste Lise-kicken inntil at Orianna bare ulta.
Jeg fikk ikke
bare se på Inspire der. Holy fuck!
Let's have a look back at how it all plays out.
Oh, I love the shockwave, but the kick was even cleaner. You love to see it. Odoamne's ult is set up to perfection. When Humanoid stopwatched here, I thought that was it. He dodged away from 2 ultimates. Look at Inspired on the side. Gets the Q, instant ward jump, gets the flash kick.
Holy shit.
He has to flash away, but unstuck.
Kommer... Videoen er 24 sekunder.
But look at Humanoid's damage here as well. He almost ripped apart the entire Rogue roster, but that damage is already done, and now Rogue has started up the Baron.
Can they get this? Elioya has flash, he's gonna get zoned away, that's it. Rogue are gonna get the team fight, gonna get the kills, gonna get the Baron.
Mad gonna take the fight, they've got
comeback av Rogue, ass.
Looking for Kaiser going on into Odoamne as well. Humanoid is here. They're out. Rogue managed to escape by Baron strong gold. Even game, even Rogue have struck back.
And this is the point that we've been talking so much about. This was the team fight that Rogue have been looking for. And also, we have to come back to that Drake discussion as well. Look, that could have been Mad Lions for Drake. That could have been the Soul had they got that. And even with the loss of Baron, they'd still be in a great position. But
Hvis man level til nå, så får en Orianna-upgrade. Og det blir jævlig lurt.
And they just showcased how terrifying they can be.
Det passer til ulten eller sånt, eller?
Det nok jeg skal
ja, ok.
Men han oppgrader seg selv på level 13, og så kan han oppgradere folk etterpå. Hver level.
Ja, ok.
Mad Lions steal it, it's soul for the rest of the game, and that's game changing. So Rogue need to make sure they have good setup, push them out, but for now they have Baron. There's lots of free gold on the map for them. This top tier
Så nå kommer til å oppgradere Orianna, det kommer til å gjelde hus for at det kommer til å bli vondt. Eller det er ikke en ekstremt stor forskjell. Sterk til at det er viktig.
Men gir det bare ekstra stats, liksom?
Ja, det gir ekstra stats. Du kan se itemsen på... Du kan søke på han for å få litt mer av de statsene som er det. Rogue har kommet seg godt tilbake til kontroll. Eller han gikk kontroll, ja. Han har kontroll mens han har Baron.
Jo, men det var veldig huge for dem.
Det var fortsatt Eldrup Soul Point. Men hvis det er Orianna får lov til å levele opp og gi nok items til folkene sine, og skal det bli vanskelig for dem å deale med dem, så hvis Orianna i tillegg har level 16. Kanskje Philips får level 16, og han får oppgrade itemen til Orianna og men nå har han level opp. Nå skal han Orianna, han må gå til det først da.
Jeg må gå til en, liksom bort den.
Well, so this is the thing, right? Like, Mad have to get creative in how they win this team fight. And they've done it before. They've showcased that even with not the best team fight in comp, they've been able to come out ahead. But I think that their biggest
ja, der går de å møtes.
Draft, as we've talked multiple times
eller,
is how
ikke?
they play through silence.
Nei, han bare stakk. Jeg har ikke lyst til å gi deg upgrade.
Towards the top side, trying to threaten this tier 2 as Rogue do the same in bot. The Baron is about to wear off, which means that Rogue can't really look to push much further. Armut should be able to hold on to this, he just has to be careful of a potential dive.
Yeah, Mad Lions playing very well over side lanes to keep matching and answering spells. Humanoid, no flash, knock up into Shockwave.
Larson on his way as well. Humanoid does have the realm, he's going to try and get away and pops it down.
Legga, så nesten ut som jeg skulle springe forbi den.
For Mad Lions as they're able to get some damage down on the tower and Humanoid escapes.
Yeah, Humanoid will escape and I think he'll get the Dragon in time, but now the Call of the Forge God, Orin's ultimate won't be up for this Dragon Soul of Mad. Larson has to go for the kill here. Humanoid has flash in a couple of seconds.
Importantly, if Larson can keep Humanoid around until the Dragon starts, Larson has TP and Humanoid is not off cooldown as of yet. Humanoid needs to base and then get towards this Dragon pit because he's only got 20 seconds to do it. See that massive drop off in gold after that team fight happening in the river. Mad Lions having flashbacks to it perhaps as they set up around the Ocean Soul, around this Ocean Dragon. Rogue are the ones with control in the river right now and Mad Lions have to face check into it. Who's going to face check? That's the question. With Larson TPing in, Rogue have all 5 players strong. Elioya on the front line. The Ocean Drake has a control ward on it. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, Larson just picked up voice tap. Looks like they're just going to start it. They could get stolen away. They have to rush it down. It is gone.
Og det på så bygget noe sånt.
1 minute 50 till Baron. Rogue won't get anything else, but they've stalled the game.
Ja, han har gitt lidenskap.
Without the ultimate from Odoamne, I think this was a correct choice. Rogue, don't take the gamble when you don't have such a powerful tool at your disposal.
Ja, han har jo oppgradert til Lisen også.
Lisen også, ja. Damen.
Det er vel level, så kan han oppgradere.
Så fra 13 så 14, 15, 16, 17 og 18.
Vel 13 automatisk level up det selv.
Ja, så For det er jo 4 levels, 14 til 18.
Du kan bare oppgradere 1 pluss 1 for hver prøve.
Ja, så du får hele teamet mitt, liksom.
4 minutes on Dragon, 1 minute on Baron. The only real objective on the map for Rogue is his top tier 2.
Han får level 16, så går han
try to control the bot side map to free up Odoamne to move with the team.
Yeah, Armin split pushing off towards the top side does have the teleport.
Det er mye nok.
Rejoin the fight.
Han er ganske sterk.
Det stoler jeg på.
4 16. Ja,
Question is, can Mad Lions find a purchase back in?
Jeg synes han er ganske sterk allerede.
Ja, han har hatt en ganske stor boost i... Kan du slå av streamen og slå på det? Simen? Simen? Hallo? Simen?
Hva sier du?
Kan du skru av streamen og slå på det?
Det kan jeg, vet du.
Leeson has flash, and if they funnel into a choke, it's dangerous. Odoamne has smite as well, so if they just go for the straight 50-50...
Oh, damn, that's right, smite.
With the double smite, we'll see what happens here.
4,000 health on the Baron. Inspired backs away from it. The patience meter ticking low. Odoamne tanking it up.
They have the double smite.
Look at the chakram sitting on Hansama. He's got about 10 hula hoops around him, and if they go into him, he can bite. Kaiser flashes forward.
Okay, det var ingen smite som
Get out, but he gets the face calling already. They're taking down Trimby. Rogue has secured the Baron, but Kaiser goes forward once again. Round one coming out.
Lars, men det...
Hansama's still alive. Kazi with the
Hjelp Hansama trenger å få hjelpen.
Inspired there. Kazi taken out, but Hansama has fallen as well.
Humanoid dealer for mye.
And even though Rogue got the Baron, Mad Lions get the fight. Odoamne down. Only Inspired survives.
It does not matter if your comp is supposed to be better at team fighting, because Mads just finds a way to be better at team fighting. They come out
Okay,
ahead,
kompis.
they don't care about the Baron, and they will still keep control over this game.
I don't think they can get anything off this though, but anyway, let's look at this again, because Kaiser is the one to instantly start the fight. Hans and Larsen watch them, they stack together, and Kaiser just sees it. Larsen reacts, but Hans doesn't. Then he does eventually flash away, but the front line is split from the back line, so Odoamne is trying to get some kind of engage. He goes into the Baron pit to run away. Larsen's alone, Hans is alone. Mad Lions can collapse. Yes, he cancelled the Realm Warp, but he has no one to protect him, and Mad Lions find the carries.
Oh my, I cannot believe how insane Kaiser was in that team fight. Like, you highlighted it perfectly, Caedrel, but the fact that he went onto the back line twice, he found 2 engages onto both carries, and just kept them preoccupied, forced both their flashes out, just set up for Mads to pretty much utilize their single target damage. They could pick one target at a time, slowly work their way through the Rogue competition.
Yeah, and I think the important thing was Mad Lions was very split up in that fight. Odoamne couldn't find the Call of the Forge, he couldn't find a knock-up onto multiple people. Larsen couldn't find a multiple-man shockwave because Mad Lions were so split up. Armut was poking them down, and they pick and chose their engages so well. Kaiser going in, like you said, gets pulled out and goes back in.
So the important thing here is not about the Baron. It's not about that fight. Mad Lions basically got nothing out of it. But what they did achieve was flashes. Hansama, no flash. Larsen, no flash. Inspired, no flash. Odoamne, no flash. And with 50 seconds on the Ocean Soul, Mad Lions are setting up around it.
Yeah, I think the important thing for Rogue is what you want to take from that fight is make sure Odoamne and Trimby are not split from your carries. They need to stay next to them, they need to stay in front of them, and they need to protect them. But 38 seconds left. Rogue have a lot of time to work with here. Mad Lions have the base. If they stayed around this Dragon, Rogue literally could have ended the game. But Kaiser is playing his solid stake again. Can he find anything? He's behind them. You can have a great flank here with Hex Flash.
That control ward is so important, but they're going to walk straight into.
Well, the rest of the team is just not there at the moment. Now Kaiser can look for it.
Give me Ignar vibes.
Oh, he Hex Flashes away, but Kaiser goes in. They look for it.
Oh my god. Kaiser, ass.
Larsen's still alive. Humanoid has the flank. Kazi's down. It's all on Humanoid and Armut with the damage down here. Isabelius has already gone down. He's in the GA. Now he's dead. Odoamne trying to get away. Inspired running one way. Larsen the other. Lion barreled in, and they get the kill and they get the soul.
How does Kaiser keep getting away with it? This man is the master of stealth, and he finds another flawless engage. Mad Lions are going to win another team fight. They're going to get themselves the Ocean.
Hva er det du driver med nå?
Can't end just yet, but yes, you're completely right. The Ocean Soul's gone. All of Mad Lions are laughing after that fight. Two big things to watch. One, yes, Kaiser's flank was amazing. He got a multiple man knock up, especially on the hands. But look at the shockwave at the back. It hit no one. Carsey was at one end of the rumble, and Humanoid was at the other, so it hit no one. Carsey dies, and Hans has GA. But look at Humanoid. He stays alive, dodges away from Inspired's Q, and cleans up.
Glemte å resette.
How do they keep doing this?
You summarized it perfectly.
Jo, det er i stad.
Of everyone. There were so many people attacking him from multiple flanks, he was forced to disengage, so the two damage dealers couldn't do any damage.
Holy shit, Humanoid damage da.
Finding ways to get on top of them. If Rogue could just get that straightforward
Kaiser MVP, ass.
fight, then this game would be a lot easier, but Kaiser is not
Om han bare har fått poeng for å være MVP.
Yeah, we talk about scaling. You can have the better team fight. You can have the better front to back, but it's the intricacies, you know, it's
Men
the
statsene hans
intangibles
tilsier
of
det at
playmaking
han
that
skal
Mad
få
Lions are
en
putting
grei
off
poeng,
here
en
and
del
showing as a
poeng for han.
clinic in fights. The game's not over yet. They're only 3,000 gold up. Gold at this point doesn't matter. The important thing is the Ocean Soul. Rogue have to team fight against it.
The biggest intangible is this support player.
It's pretty fucking tangible is what it is. Kaiser's a beast!
He is
Twice in 2 games, he's found the perfect flank.
Oh man,
It's crazy how he just keeps finding them.
He just keeps finding them. Like, you guys referenced Solid Stake at the start, and it is just the perfect example. He is just a master spy, the master of stealth. He's put all his points in sneak. There's just no way that you can catch him. But anyway, as you boys rightly said, there's still a lot of this game left to play. I don't even know if one team fight will decide it, because look, so much of the structures of both teams' bases are still alive.
Elioya, ikke gå død nå.
The Baron is up in 1 minute. Elioya has found Odoamne.
Inspired. Does land the Sonic Wave onto Elioya there. A ward goes down.
Ja, det er så dårlig
They
kvalitet.
don't
Jeg kan
have
ikke se
any
det.
vision around this Baron pit. They just still have a minute to reset. Importantly, Trimby actually sitting on only 1 ward.
Ta så sharer du da. Slipp du å... Eller så kan jeg ta på sourcen.
To start investing in healing reduction.
Sånn,
They're
om det her
really needed
hjelper.
against this Ocean Soul, and they have very little of it right now. Mad Lions full control of the map, 40 seconds on the Baron. The good thing about Mad Lions as comp is what they can do is group up, push a lane into tier 2, and then Rizold use the realm up to Nash and just blow it up. Rogue need to start finding some way to contest the vision.
Look at what they're doing right now. They're keeping bot push, they're keeping mid push. They have a wave stacking in top lane, and Rogue can't afford to overextend.
Den er god.
Catch you out of position if you're not careful. So Rogue doing their best to stay grouped as Orianna has the TP and bot matching the rise.
Yeah, they could look for an engage here. Armor's been split. Kaiser's just going in.
Goes in onto Hansama, but he was stunned in the middle of his combo, so he couldn't get it off. Caught at the port shot coming out as well. Not going to hit anyone. Goes between the uprights. I think Armor's eclipse Edge of Night there was procced. TP comes out, but Humanoid did not TP.
Yeah, but importantly, Kaiser, I think he engaged there purposefully because he knew he'd get pulled out to force Larson to TP. Now Humanoid's alone in bot, and Odoamne is going to be the one to match him. So Rogue have lost a lot of engage, which means Mad Lions can push further into this topside jungle. It might have looked a bit overextended by Kaiser, but now Larson's stuck with the team, and he can't match Humanoid.
A lot of ults. Well, I say a lot of ults. Odoamne's ult was used, and I think that in exchange for Kaiser's, I think it's a big debate as to whether or not that was worth it, because I think the big thing is he didn't get Hansama summoner spells. He was still able to just walk out of it.
Hansama's in base.
Wait, he is, and Rise is splitting bot. Look, Mad are just splitting up the map. They're forcing Rogue to make a choice.
Now the question is, can you get this with the Shockwave? Larson very high damage right now. Humanoid's going to back away from the bot lane inhibitor. Inspired has the flank as well.
He missed Q!
He missed Q and the Ren comes out. Inspired jumps into the pit, so does Trimby. Inspired has the GA. He's going to try and dive forward. The Shockwave only hits onto 2. Hansama trying to put the damage down across the pit as well, but Inspired and Trimby are so low. Inspired jumps away. Trimby cannot. And Rogue able to get one kill at the back of it, but Mad Lions get the Baron. Humanoid now on the front line, stepping forward towards Hansama. Does have the flash, does have the heal, but doesn't have the time to use them. And Elioya will kill him off. Odoamne now trying to look for a flank of his own, but Humanoid can just try and put the damage down. Odoamne still gets the shutdown in the end. Kazi on the chase with Kaiser. Odoamne and Inspired running away. Elioya gets the double. Odoamne and Inspired, the last 2 remaining members of Rogue.
These team fights are crazy, Medic. 3 members for 2 members of Mad Lions.
Jeg skjønte egentlig ikke helt hvem som kom best ut av.
Late because he had to deal with bot waves, and he was in bot lane. He TP's in eventually.
But
now, Mad Lions have Baron. 30 seconds on Hans, 40 seconds on Larson. No Call of the Forge God. How do you wave clear this? Karzy can hit towers for free. Inspired has kick up. I think this might just be it if they push for the end.
Mad Lions got the early game lead. Rogue fought back. Team fight after team fight, neck and neck. Both these teams have been battling across the course of 2021, but every time Mad Lions have come out on top so far.
7 seconds on hand.
Det är over, nej.
Zenith Blade going in as well as they look to try and take down Kazi. Gets into the GA. And Elioya putting the damage down. Hans is back up. And for the moment, Rogue have held the door. They've held the line. They will not let Mad shut that door in their face right now.
Inspired with a beautiful kick onto 3. The man came up clutch last week.
Andre
and
gangen
he's
på
doing
rad,
it
skal
again
bare
in this game.
smurfe på
Rogue
trynet.
keeps the base defense alive. The Elder
Helt det
spawns
Elder.
in 35 seconds. And I think Rogue are out of this game yet.
Yeah, they tried to end for the 3v3, but it's the clutch plays that come out. The intangibles once again inspired.
GM til Hans Anne tilbake.
25 seconds on Elder, 30 seconds on Karzi. Rogue are going to push this all
Men
the
skal
way
han pushe inn?
I think they might look for an inhibitor here, then backtrack to the dragon. Can they gonna try and end? There's no way you can end here, right?
Jeg vet ikke lenger med det gamet her.
Has ult, but no Baron buff. 20
Men skal han prøve å
Karzi,
finishe?
they go for it. They need to use ultimates now. They have to push for it.
What?
Try and clear out these minions. Trimby underneath the tower.
Healing.
Humanoid is so low already. But he puts the stopwatch. Minions still alive. Humanoid still alive. Hans Summer.
8 seconds
Down into the GA. Flashes away from Kaiser. Rogue. They didn't quite close it out. They lost one. Trimby's down.
De har...
The Mad Lions
Ok, Trymby som
now
død.
can try and push out towards this Elder spawn.
They have to just one-shot
Hva
this
faen,
Elder. It's a
Oliver?
5v4 against Ocean Soul, but Mad Lions are
Det
just
er
going
det
to
gamet
chase across the rift. Rogue have to run for the hills. They have to burst this and get it now. Otherwise, they have no chance of survival.
Jeg må på do, men det skjer jo noe hele jævla tida.
Elioya doesn't have flash. He has to go the long way around, and that is it. Taken Hans
Det er huge, det er huge.
Hva er det gamet?
Rogue though still on the back foot.
Det er huge.
As they manage to retreat. Inhibitor down in the mid lane for both teams. Rogue
Det er
unwilling,
ikke
unflinching,
mulig.
unrelenting
Hva er det her?
as they broke Mad in their own base and then
Hva er det
forced it
her?
down mid.
Oh my word.
Han Sama er hele fighten teamet.
Into another. Both teams are able
Jeg
to
inspirer det litt med
How
også,
does Humanoid live?
Jo da,
At his
men
nexus, that
damage
was
til Philo er den eneste som gjør det.
insane.
This game has
Så
no
det er for
chill.
så vidt sant.
And I love it. I love it. Rogue, 20 seconds on Karzi and they tried to end with no
Among
Baron
mid
buff. That was
laners.
absolutely crazy, but they had
Among
the
us.
CC to try and layer it. Didn't work out. They had a 5-second window to burst that Elder. I think 5 to 10. They just got it because Elioya
Det der
had no
var
ultimate flash to get over the wall.
definitivt ikke
And they
det-
get out. So they have this Elder Dragon for a little bit longer.
Den,
Baron spawning soon. 1 minute 30 seconds on this Elder. So they need to do something with it. And they need to do
Safeste
something
play.
now.
You're right, Cadril. They just
Nei.
need to fight.
Bare,
Everyone
ja, la
knows
oss
that the one thing you
springe
don't do
inn
against
i
an Elder
effektivt
Dragon
basen
is
deres. Å,
fight it.
la oss ta Elder da.
And Rogue, they have the perfect team comp to do that.
Sånn-
The problem is, these waves
så
are being
nærme
pushed
på
in.
at
They
kan bare
can't
miste den og bare
overextend at risk
tape alt.
of being collapsed by the Mad Lions. Inspired was able to push out bot, but now Mad is pushing in top, and they have the supers helping them push in mid. Humanoid gonna catch bot wave because he knows he has his TP up, and everyone from Mad is resetting. So, let's take a breather.
Og hvis Aphelios er i live, og han står ofte med Aphelios, så skal det være ekstremt lett å drepe Aphelios.
But Betty, just like you said, Mad Lions need to base, and what does basing do? It gives
Det her
control. Rogue can push
går
it
begge
top,
veier.
and they can move into this topside jungle if they
Jeg
want to
må
try to
få
contest
drept
some
Hans.
kind of vision. We
Ja.
have a 6-item Aphelios on the rift. Hans doesn't have flash though.
Og
and
det er
Larsen
viktig
is
å
going
Ryze
up
er
to
den
the
eneste
front.
som kan drepe
Everyone's building towards all the
Så kan
items
han
they
være
need, and Rogue are ignoring.
Are they doing base race?
It's going to be a base race. Humanoid's going to Realm Warp with the stun.
A base race?
100%
Holy
cancel
shit.
the bases as well. They're going to stop the bases. No way. Oh, they didn't do. Oh, why?
The idea was good, Medic.
To me, Mad Lions.
The idea was good, Medic.
Hva
I
er
saw
det
it
som
as
skjer?
well.
Begge lag
But
har
it
det.
doesn't look like they're going to
Så
go.
da base.
Tur på do.
Do you know how many base that Medic has seen that so many times? That he
Det
was
var close in base,
You know
actually.
the reason they didn't do it? There's still 15 seconds left of Elder. If they're
Yeah.
4-man realm warping into an Orianna
It's true.
with no flashes, they're all just one-shotted. It's an instant quadra kill, you'd have to imagine.
Oh my words.
I
Okay,
mean,
also,
so smart decision to back off.
so we also just have to recognize Elioya. He's not been a big discussion point in this game. Hasn't died
That's
once in
Yeah.
42 minutes in all of this chaos.
Didn't die last game either.
Disappointing.
Disappointing. He's been involved in 16 of their 22 kills.
He hasn't died at all this series, never
Wait,
mind
he
just in
didn't die
this
last
game.
game?
No, he is a combined 7-0-28 across the last 2 games. He continues to
Faen, en
impress
stor horn.
in his rookie season as
Eller,
well here.
oh,
Can he step up now?
Here we go though, the Aram begins. 20 seconds on Baron, that's the only objective that's on the map for the next 3 minutes, and Rogue have control for now. Mad Lions need to poke their way in, Kaiser has flash, and we've seen what he can do with it. And just like you said earlier, Medic, Humanoid can realm warp into the base if they have a wave, so Rogue, they need to make sure if they go for Baron, they need to push the waves in first.
You can feel the tension start to mount right now. The side waves are not important. Elyoya slightly split off. Handsome is looking for an opportunity. Oh, and here begins the fight.
That's the Everfrost user, the one who's going to be able to heal up. Remember, Ocean Soul available here from Mad Lions. They're going to heal up a bunch. Poke coming out.
Oh, shit,
low.
damage.
Running down mid. They're bringing in the minions and they're sprinting at the Olympics. Ended a couple of weeks ago.
Det så kult at du kan ta med minions.
You can just turn back. They don't have TPs anymore. The bait and switch. Low is the bait and switch, as you say. Call of the Portugal going out. It's looking for humanoid. And Yoya keeping Trippy and Hansama busy over to the other side.
Hansama.
Kick onto
Fuck,
humanoid.
det er den.
Åh, Hansama! Nei! Hansama!
Down towards the bottom side. Locked up. It's Spy is going to get the kill off towards
Kom igjen, hjelp oss nå. Oh my god, no! Jesus Christ.
Altså, han vinner jo fighten alene, da.
Ok, holy fuck. Kan du drepe Viego der for sånn 4 århundrer?
He needs to push this wave in. That'll stop Rogue from being able to end. There's pings on bot wave, there's pings on top wave.
Jesus Christ.
No one knows where to go.
They're not even killing each other, they're just killing the waves. Oh my god, and because the blue inhibitors respawn and there's no wave, Rogue is just gonna go for the Baron.
Oh my god.
What an insane.
Jeg blir jo
Oh
svett.
my god, Hans bare sto også 1v3 der.
Men du, det her er ikke det game engang. Jeg skjønte hvis det var high stakes. Hvis Mad hadde ligget 2-0 nå, liksom. Men det her er
ganske viktig game for
Jo, det er jo for så vidt sant, da. Men det er helt sykt.
Se på det her! Se på det, det her er jo helt frykt. Han splittet det skikkelig på.
Og så tenker de liksom, ok, ja, men da har vi en.
Åh, men Gean sitt Viego tilbake. Han kunne ha drept den tidligere. Viego fikk jo Gean sin etterpå. Åh, så får han reseten her. Reseten her ødelegger alt, egentlig.
They're able to get the kill, but then the rest of Rogue join the fray.
Yeah, look who arrived. It's Inspired, Larson and Odo. It's the top side to take over, and they do manage to close out the fight. Elyoya lives, has the GA, who almost saved the game by stunning Hanser and getting his GA.
Yeah.
But the GA saved his life. He sold it now. And
Oh my god, så
Hva faen?
What? That is never seen it before.
9,000, baby! That
Oh
was
my
insane!
god!
Never seen that before.
200
But
years.
Rogue have Baron now. They can push into this inhibitor. 15 seconds on Elder. We saw how fast Rogue could do it earlier.
Deala litt damage, han. Bare litt.
Ja. Den tar mis... Nei, han har faktisk en jævla, skal vi se. Åh, han feiler hånden.
Åh, han sa meg det. Det er huge.
Trimby's gonna go down as well. Inspired jumps across the wall, but Trimby's down. Oh, Hansama! Top wave. Humanoid still has the TP. He doesn't have a realm warp though. Elder Drake has to be the target here for Mad Lions. You have to think they're gonna try and turn it back onto armor. Inspired has a good flank position, has no Dragon's Rage kick. Larson, no shockwave, no ults available. For Rogue right now, Mad Lions and Yoya is on the Elder Drake. Top wave is pushing in. Mad Lions should have this one pretty much by themselves. Rogue have to back away.
Rogue is just doing everything that they can to stay alive right now.
Det var ganske sad life. Hadde han ikke pil, eller hva?
These fights have
Jeg fikk
consistently gone
han
back
bare,
and forth.
jeg så
It's
bare
come down
den
to
flashet inn til
individual
veggen.
plays, and this
Men jeg
time
tror jeg
around,
ikke inn til
was
veggen, så
able
det
to
var
find the kill
lett
onto Hansama. Mad now possessed the Elder Drake.
Oh man, I saw that top wave while that fight was going on, and I thought Mad Lions would TP in, but you're
Han
completely
skulle ha
right.
til
Medic,
timen,
look
han
at
skulle
Hector's
inn til
flash.
gå til
That's
kamp.
not what you want. He
Ja,
flashes
for
off the
han
wall and
flashet
instantly
i
dies.
hjørnet,
From
ja.
there, it's a 4v5 from the start. Larson
Så de
flashes
bare
away.
går i 18, så
No
ja,
DPS
så han
left
får seg.
for Rogue. The front line gets melted, and I thought here Armwood Humanoid
Hvis han kommer seg ut der, så vil han begynne for
Elder
at
Dragon
de
is the
bytter altfor
best
mye for å komme
But
seg inn på
notice
han.
that Larson immediately ran once he flashed out. I think that
Diego
was smart
enda
because
ikke
they
dead.
recognized that the best thing
Det er
they
helt
could
sjukt.
do was just
Han har
disengage. They need bodies alive because the death times are so long late into the
Og han er
game.
Viego.
If one more person had died, that could have just been the game.
46 kills, 47 minutes. Mad Lions have Elder Dragon. They're going to force it.
Oh,
Kaiser's
shit,
going to go
good
in.
game.
Karzi's going to go in. You know they need to force it. Rogue need to play max range and clear out these waves. There's no
Men de
Baron
Baron?
on Mad, so the wave clear
Ah,
is very
det
strong
gjør det
from
vanskelig for
Rogue.
dem,
It's all
ja.
about whether they give them the fight or not.
Jeg vet ikke hvor langt det er.
Across the years, there have been
Rogue
many
fikk
great
startet
battles
at han-
in Europe. Fnatic and G2 led the charge for the longest time, but this year, 2021, has been the battle between Rogue and Mad Lions. The third time they have met. Mad Lions have won it every single time before, but every time we get a battle between titans, and here once again we are seeing it. The inhibitor will fall as Elyoya looks in the Shroud, see if he can get in. TP used by Humanoid towards the top lane. As you say, Betty, there is a possibility that Odoamne could have pulled the trigger on the Call of the Forge God, but the gods won't come as Humanoid continues to push in the top lane. Armor chipping away. The Elder Dragon still available. That buff on Mad Lions still ticking away.
Yeah, Mad Lions have Elder and they're going to move topside now.
Ja, det jævlig OP. Det sånn, du bare vinner fight.
Again, Rogue's wave clear is so strong. Larson can clear it out in under a couple of seconds. They're going to force this mid inhibitor. Rogue have to give it up for now until the Elder's off. But they're going to poke and they're going to prod and they're going to make sure it's hard for Mad Lions to find anything.
Oh my word, it is so tense right now. We're approaching the 50-minute mark.
20 seconds.
Oh my god.
Ja, hva faen?
Oh my god, for kick! Det er fuckings Elder for sånn.
Elder Dragon 10 seconds before he goes down, and Yora's already killed off Unsummer. Armor looking for Larson as well. Tick, tick, tick. The Elder Dragon almost goes down, but Mad Lions have found the fight right at the moment that they're looking for. That's it. Armor kills off Larson. It's Pedral. It's try as you might, you cannot hold back the pride of Lions. Mad Lions clean up the fight in the Rogue base, and only Odo left to stand as his kingdom crumbles around him. Rogue tried to defend, but Mad Lions battered down the door.
Wow! That was one of the most back and forth games I've ever seen. Barons, Elders, Souls across the board, huge individual plays. In the end, Mad Lions come out on top.
Åh, stakkar, sitt der og bare... Det var så close.
Hvis de er på dem hadde lyst til å gå for det, men herregud, hvis han ikke har vært Elder der, så la meg vinne for det.
All backfires. Oh my word, I just... He went for the play at the end, thinks... Man, imagine being Hansama and Larson in that position.
Dude.
Hæ?
First game, Armored 65 poeng.
Ja, men det kommer sikkert gå ned.
Jo, men liksom, det er bra start da. Fy faen, for jeg er svett jo. Ja, for da er det jo faktisk...
Don't say goodbye,
Hva er den videoen der?
Don't say goodbye.
Dem har bånd på seg, ok. Så hunden kjører bort, ok.
Fett, ja. Men hvorfor stoppe sangen? Hoppa jo.
Jeg hoppa jo snart. Shit.
Oh, my friend, it's been a while. So good to see you.
Hva det her for et konto? Nei, Hearthstone min er jo helt ny, holdt jeg på å si.
Hørtes riktig ut der.
Game data...
Den skal ikke være det, så det er bare feilbrukere.
Ja, det må være det.
Change God.
Ja, men da driter jeg i det, ass.
Ja, du kan bestemme en class og bare få masse kort i den classen. Jeg fikk en legendary. Skal jeg sjekke hvilken legendary fikk jeg? For each soul fragment in your deck, summon a 3/3 soul with rush. Hvor jævla garbage legendary for?
Ja, alle står ute, ja. Jeg trodde det var bare med Davin som... Rogue er litt stresset, ass.
All friendly attacks ignore taunt. Ja, morsomt.
Ja, men Mad Lions har med seg en viking.
Faen, corrupt. Remove the top 5 cards of the deck. Corrupt your opponent's deck instead. Draw your highest cost minion. Det var jævlig sykt. En 3-3. Ja, det var en skyld. Hvorfor har jeg disenchanta Jogson? Hva faen skjer? Har du fortsatt Jogser? Simen? Just, okay. At the end of turn, deal to random enemy.
Du får høre sangen igjen uten å se videoen. Dårlig gjort, altså. Jeg vil se bikkja som bare sånn, yo, jeg kjører bil.
Mistet du også Hayaksøen igjen? For jeg skjønner ikke helt om jeg disenchantet eller bare mistet den.
Vi dissa begge.
Var
Eller
det
jeg dissa i hvert fall. Jeg husker ikke med deg.
Hvorfor det? Den forandrer seg da i tillegg. Jeg vet ikke om det er bedre eller hva faen som skjer, men det er sånn...
Ok, så Kaiser climber i pointsa, men Mr. Armut derimot, han datt, ja.
Ja. Men ja, den forandrer på Hayaksøen. Og jeg skjønner ikke helt hva det betyr. Hvis du bruker 10 spill, så kan du gjøre the wheel of Jokstrand. Sånn, hva betyr det?
Jeg tror rett og slett han bare var for broken i Wild.
En random ting for broken, ikke? La seg inspirere på Vigga da.
Ja, de har ikke så veldig lyst til å pikke en for en lenger. De har hatt muligheter 2 ganger på rad nå.
Rice-bandet må komme nå.
Ja, altså,
Den ulten
det
er
må
faktisk
bare komme.
latterlig. Skal vi drite i det Astral-band?
Det var en varespenn, men ikke en Nestor-band. Men du vil bare det, ikke se den igjen?
Nei, faen. Kanskje den bare gidder å spille mot det, for den er så jævlig defensiv, men jeg heller få vekk en Rice og sånn bullshit. Banne Rice og pikke TF. TF kommer til å være bannet av Madlines, men vi pikker TF.
Der er Rice-bandet, vet du.
Okay, de må banne TF nå. Hva er det der? TF. Ja, TF.
Jeg vil ikke spille mot Aphelios lenger.
Æsj, jeg må døpe.
Viego, kanskje, Mark?
Noen liker sin jobb. Det er lett å kjempe. Ja, nå tok VJ. De har lite frontline, men det er nødvendig. Jeg er i Kogma-bandet. Redd for Kogma Lule. Nærmet. No Cyrakan. Bra med trykk, bra. Noe sånt.
Malphite?
Null peiling. Ja, for at de medfører bare bra motorhus. Æsj, Brom. Hva lyst er det, sir? Ja, de må syle, ass.
Ja, det er jo bare
Da må vi i livet, da. Men, Jarvan. Det var jævlig sykt, Jarvan.
Jarvan. Ja, det var jævlig kult.
Nei, jeg pikker Jarvan. Jeg liker det pikket. Det er sykt ut.
En nar, da, kanskje? Eller?
Jeg vet ikke om Gnar er bra med Jace. Men, på en måte. Det var ikke sånn veldig mye champion som passer mot Jace. GP.
Gangplank, ja. Det var jævlig lite swaps denne runden her.
Bare sånn, jeg har lyst til å gå en champion her, men du må pikke for andre. Nei, jeg vil gå en champion her.
Ja, sånn begge junglerne pikka det de skulle ha. Botlane til Rogue pikka det de skulle ha. Midlaneren pikka det de skulle ha. Topp pikka mid, og mid pikka topp og Rogue.
Jeg kunne pikke Galio, det var jævlig sykt. Bare ingen som gidder å pikke Galio etter den ene uka da Galio bare wrecka alt. Man kan se på det ikke var noe nerf eller noe, så jeg skjønner ikke helt greia.
Bare alle bestemte seg for å pikke Galio, så bare sånn, ja, la oss aldri pikke den igjen.
This has different effect based on which game board you're on. What?
Hva da?
Kort som har det. Transfer student!
Ja, det er fra meme.
Jeg skjønner ikke, de forklarer veldig dårlig. I got to sight in my way.
Han så det på Fitness Live, www. Han får en CC botlane.
Ja. Helt poenget med sjekkebisken, men...
Oi.
Okay.
Rogue botlane, bare hei.
Okay.
Trada.
Jeg vet ikke helt hva Cleansene gjør, men den gjorde vel sikkert noe.
Hæ?
Han knocka han opp med 3D beste-sekken samtidig som det var så jævlig skjenka ut. Ok, nå blir det fight, altså. Jesus Christ. Ok.
Oi da. Rogue er sure.
Det der interaction med Lise var for jævlig sykt, altså.
What the fuck?
Han var...
Pås.
Ikke riktig teams, altså.
Kalista bare stakka så mye red stacks, rett og slett, bare.
Han cleansa slowen, ikke det you nevnte vi gjorde. Sånn. Sånn, ja.
Sånn, det var jo dårlig judgment, da, spør du meg.
Ja, I guess. Jeg skjønte ikke. Hvis han så han, så burde han ikke gå der. For at han liksom vinner ikke mot Shisha, så eller.
Det var veldig late flash.
Så selv om Shisha dør her, så vil det fortsatt være verdt for ham, for han får 20 minutter.
Ja. Jeg synes det var litt sånn dårlig judgment der.
Ja, det å få armut på noe som man ikke kommer for på, det tror jeg kommer til å forandre veldig mye. Men hva vet, kanskje han er veldig glad i det spillet. Jeg har bare aldri sett den på. Det er riktig, ja. Det er ikke sånn han ligger. Jeg kunne lukte den der, altså. Det der så veldig bit, altså.
Oda da.
Ja, men han trenger ikke noe annet. Hvis han får
Det var basic dags. Lol. Rogue er forbanna.
Mer eller mindre. Nei, jeg tror at de har litt bedre teamkamp nå. Bra blokkering fra Simby. Bra TP! De burde forstå at han kommer til å komme. Det må jeg nesten forstå, altså. De visste at Jace hadde TP opp. Og at topplane-øven ikke engang pushes.
Ja, jeg tror de har vunnet 2 på rad nå, og så bare ruller litt på det. For de spiller veldig mye dårligere enn de har gjort tidligere. Hva er det som skjer?
De dreper Armut? Ja, TF, Larsen på TF er... Men han kan ta den kanskje drepe den.
Jeg synes det virker som de spiller veldig sloppy.
Man kan si det, men jeg tror også de er blitt såpass outdraftet nå at de ikke er confident i hele tatt.
Det er jeg også veldig menig i.
For at Silas, han er ganske god på Silas, men jeg vil ikke si at det er den beste matchupen i verden. Armut har jo helt jævlig på det med GP. Sånn.
Ja.
Kalista blir bare molesta nå, men det er bare sånn det blir.
Det er bare sånn som det skjer. Armut blir jo bare mobba.
Armut hater livet sitt.
Larsen?
Fikk de ikke fullkår da?
Ja, men var det veldig da?
Har han fortsatt fuckings flash?
Faen. De diva 3 ganger på botside, jo.
Ja, TF gjør jævlig mye for det teamet. At de har basically 3 teleports.
Og det faktum er at han får så mye golds. Den passiven er jo så syk.
Æsj er ganske bra. Adikerer for å bare gjøre ting. Det er fuckings Silas TF. Herregud, hvor forvirrende.
Ja, det var faktisk jævlig forvirrende. Jeg trodde det var...
Jeg antar at Silas til selvfølgelig bare gikk ut. Det eneste jeg kan få å si med det. Ja, han har hittet av tingen ser at han har stått. Men fikk den Aron? Ja, han fikk det da.
Ja, men herregud da. Eloya bor jo botlane.
Kalista Ultimate? Ja.
Eloya bor jo botlane. Hva faen?
Ja, det...
With this.
Nei, det at botlane her går såpass bra samt at den blir helt fucking skampa, så det gikk ganske bra. Bare... Jesus Christ.
Your job is just to die. Jeg tror ikke med armet til verden noe særlig.
Oh my god, ok, jeg har 2 turrets i midled. Hva skjedde der?
Hæ?
Han tok second mid-turreten. OK. Det er ikke for meg. Jeg betyr lurer på hvor all gold kommer fra. Vent, hva er den golden der? Han er 2000 gold over i Høymonet.
What? Ja, Armet har dere greier hvor du kan kjøpe deg i depth, ja.
Hæ?
Dere
Ja.
rune hvor du kan kjøpe deg under. The Pirate's Life.
Future Market, da.
Mm.
Ok, nå skal de endelig ha spare dritten her.
Nei, men er Loya bot?
Det var litt overraskende. Vent, han tok Kalista hele tiden. Kan man på enda med antar jungler.
Eller antar jeg Loya.
For én her fortsatt. Kan du fuck off? Partiet er fullt mitt, ja.
Ja, humanoid, det er død.
More like zombie, oi.
Ah.
Ok, vi får se på den. G-pult.
Smurfa på draften, ja.
Faktisk. Helt deilig å spille jungle når det er så bra vision, altså. Nå er det en vision bare på at den er med Raptor, sant? Fra midlen, ikke?
Mm.
Men utom det, så... Det her skjer alltid når man spiller TF, det skjer så mye dritt overalt, og så bare ingen som, alle sammen glemmer TF, og plutselig er TF alt for big, for noen skjønner hva som skjer.
Endelig fikk de den jævla turreten. Men det er det som er,
Det er mye goals.
hard, det er det som er hard for Rogue. De må vinne 3 games på rad uten å tape et eneste et.
Ja.
Det er hard.
Men også bare tar vi game for game, bare håpe at de... Ja, for ta en par games. Ikke bli helt om vinner eller taping på hele serien. Det er huge gold.
Oi! For en arrow! Men han er jo jævlig strong, da.
Ja, men det er en stor 400.
Eller hvordan funker Jace ult på Silas?
Det gjør seg. Vent, hva faen skjer med i toppen her?
0-5. Det har ikke vært så veldig mye.
Dragon-stekninga er litt skummel.
Ja. Loud Soul.
2 turrets med mid og topp med ingen bottle.
Det er litt syk.
Det er spesielt. Det er ikke så mye plass jeg kan høre det da. Den alle turretsene er bort i gamet. Jeg ser hvor lenge han har på her da. Han er halvveis. Jeg tror at det står på en val, altså. Ja, det er en bra tilfelle.
Larsen står der og bare kaster kort.
Okay. Her er han...
Ja, og så står han Sama på andre siden og bare sier, du, jeg dealer jævlig mye, forresten.
De trenger annen dealing, for å si det sånn.
Det står på sånn 5 wards. Fordi humanoid har sinsa-ult, ja.
Ja, det er... Eller cancer.
Jævlig mye gold for humanoid, altså. Null, 6, 5. Jeg får 3 items, hva faen? Excuse me, liksom.
Hva sa du?
Jeg får 3 fulle items, excuse me.
Ja. Nei, det
Just have things.
Klart det. Ja. Jeg burde få Drake nå. Oi.
Å, dæven. Det er sykt at de klarer, egentlig. Se
Ja,
på koden til
energien.
TF! Og damene er 7-3, og TF har mer gull.
Ja, det er artig.
Kult.
Han skulle si hvis jeg midler en, det er egentlig ikke det store forskjellet. Bare sånn, vent.
Jo. Den er faktisk massiv.
Han Silasen er kanskje 5-2, men
Larsen sitter og ruger på så å si mest farm òg, liksom. Han er så flink til å skaffe seg masse gull.
ja, han er en grinder.
Ja, for at neste uke så er det 2 games med best av 7.
Han
Mm?
har ikke peiling.
Det er runde 3, ut ifra bracketen, som jeg forstår det.
Ja.
Igjen så tror jeg det er TF som kommer, liksom, men Humanoid.
Dæsken, det at ingen av Rogue døde, nå er det helt sykt, egentlig.
Ja, det er faktisk jævlig sykt.
Det der fighten der så ikke som skal gå så bra.
Nei.
Faen, er det T-fullt av det forvirrende, altså.
Jeg trodde det var
Jeg trodde det var
fight
T-fullt.
mode.
Jeg bare ser T-fullt, og så tenker jeg, ok, nå kommer T-fullt og skal redde han sammen.
Så bare sånn.
Hvordan i helvete døde ikke det?
Jeg tar faen, jeg. Inspired kom og bare viste fram tisten sin.
Ok, men det her kan være farlig. Ok. Jeg skjulte, ja.
Jeg mist.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Helvete!
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Hva er damagen? Hva er damagen? Oh my fuck! What the heck?
Da har vi dealet litt for mye, ass. Kan jeg få se numbers der, ass?
What the actual fuck? Jeg vet ikke hvordan numbers skal funke. Det var den mest ikke-fightende fighten ever. Oi.
Der lå jeg det.
Så han? Jeg guess han så at han kom. Siden han begynte å gå back ut før han kom.
Det er Soul nå.
Ja.
Men det her var akkurat grunnen til at jeg ville ha med det her, fordi lell om det er...
Oi.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ja,
Det skjer så mye!
GP-ulten er sterk, altså. Oi, og damen er ikke med, ja. Vel, det der var ganske overraskende.
Men det, altså... Det skjer så jævla mye. Soul.
Hvorfor har jeg ikke Rogue anti-healing?
Ja, det er litt sånn... Ja, for det er ingen som har det.
Jeg var litt på det.
Det er litt sånn dumt med den Sylas.
Ja.
Og for så vidt den Lee Sin også, liksom. Og for så vidt GP. Ikke like mye, men for så vidt. Det er mange grunner til anti-healing, liksom. Men de har jo Windsoul, da. Er det så bra, egentlig?
Kanskje, jeg vet ikke. Jeg hadde ikke så mye Windsoul. I guess, ok, siden de ikke er pult.
Jo. Er det Ocean som er verst, Soul, da, eller hva?
Jeg vet ikke. Jeg vet ikke helt, men...
I guess det depender litt, liksom, men... Infernal Soul ser jeg liksom, det har du bare lyst på.
Jo, den er sjelden dårlig.
Ja, Larsen har deathcap her nå.
Jeg vet ikke.
Oh,
Ok, Trimby er litt aldri. Den GP-ultien er så stygg, altså.
Jo, der tok de ganske mye damage da, på Odua.
Jeg tror han kunne øyne, men jeg vet ikke.
Rogue taper nå det gamet her, da har de ikke lyst til å vinne.
Ja, de har jo fortsatt mye de må gjøre for å få vinne det gamet, men
Ja, det er ikke det jeg sier, liksom, men hvis de taper det gamet, da er det semien for dem, liksom.
Men de har ikke noe, de burde ha fleste itemsene deres bort nå. Ja, ok, han samme dungeon. Fy faen, han har mye sånn pil.
Shit. Altså, det kan være de vinner likevel, men det her er virkelig ikke dagen til Rogue, ass.
Nei, det der med Alliance spiller rett og bra. De har jævlig mye ting som gjør det vanskelig for dem å gå inn.
Ja.
Hvis de har anti-healing, så er det også funket mye.
Jo, det har hjulpet ganske mye. Men de har liksom bestemt seg for at det gidder vi liksom ikke. Han bare sparket han ut! Og han kommer tilbake igjen.
Ja.
Der fikk jeg en melder. Det er ganske over, ass.
Ja.
Holy shit. Ja, Rogue coach og gutta bare sitter der og bare OK. Ja. 3-0. Holy shit. Stomp, liksom.
Rip in pieces.
Nei, ser for så vidt bra ut for dem i finalen, altså. De er skumle. Jeg vil bare kommentere at Gamesa var ferdig klokka 22 i går. Klokka er ikke 8 engang.
Vi startet tidligere nå.
Jo, OK. Men det er fortsatt ferdig en time før?
Ja, eller ja.
Holy shit.
Mm, mm.